Much, Angel. All right, evening, everyone. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Welcome to our June 21st full board meeting of Manhattan Community Board 11. My name is Xavier Santiago. I'm the chair of CB11. It is approximately 6:34 p.m. Tonight, we're joined by our district manager, Angel Muscane, and community associate, Marlene Pierre. Again, welcome to our new members. It's great seeing you in person for our orientation on 101st and Lexington. In order to conduct an efficient meeting, let's observe a few ground rules. I know we say this every meeting, but it's imperative that we do so to make it a very efficient meeting. We have a jam-packed agenda. So 1, no one may speak until granted the floor. 2, CB11 members, if you have questions about board business or wish to make a motion, please raise your hand through Zoom. If you click the participants icon down at the bottom, the participants panel should appear and you should find the raise hand function there. If you still have technical difficulty, you may click the chat icon and relay your difficulty. Members should not engage in back and forth discussion. The chair will recognize the next person to speak. 3, the chat function should not be used for CB11 business or questions about the agenda. All such remarks should be made on the record by raising your hand through Zoom. Chat should only be used to alert us to any technical difficulties you're having or to state in writing information like an email address that was already stated aloud on the record during the meeting. 4, when a member is given this floor to speak, I will identify you and you can unmute yourself so that you may speak. 5, please keep your questions and comments succinct and germane to the discussion. 6, members of the public can register to speak in the public session by completing the pre-registration form and providing their name, affiliation, and what topic they wish to speak about. A link to the registration form should have been shared in the chat. Registration for the public session needs to be completed by 7:15. Okay. Now for our roll call. Is Giselle on?
Yes, I am. Jose Altamirano.
Present.
Leroy Andino. Stephanie Arroyo.
Present.
Eric Alcancela. April Autry.
Present.
Adem Brija. Juhei Chari. Diane Collier.
Present.
Devin Cronshaw.
Present.
Kenneth Crouch.
Present.
Brianna Da Costa.
Here.
Carlos Diaz. Rosa Diaz.
Present.
Angela Donadell.
Present.
Jessica Elliott.
Present.
Judith Febraro. Raja Flores. Osendi Garcia. Brandon Gillespie.
Present.
David Giordano.
Present.
John Green.
Here.
Wanda Hopkins. James Horton. Alonso Johnson.
Here.
Jewel Jones.
Present.
Marissa Mack. Malik McCullough. Jennifer Meyer.
Here.
Jessica Morris.
Here.
Neil Saurama.
Present.
Beverly Pavon.
Present.
Arturo Perez.
Present.
Claudia Perez. Roberto Perez. Savasia Robinson Teague. Natasha Rodriguez.
Present.
Eugene Rodriguez.
Here.
Don Sanders.
Present.
Xavier Santiago.
Present.
Isaac Scott.
Present.
Russell Schuler,
Present.
Vincent Torres, Anne Marie Vasquez, Jason Villanueva, Hilda Vives Vasquez, Michelle Wilcher Clement,
Present.
Jordan Wright,
Present.
Jason Wu, we have quorum.
Great, thank you very much. Moving along in our agenda. The agenda for tonight's meeting was distributed ahead of time by the board office and was posted online. If there's no objection, we will adopt the agenda as stated. Board members, if you object to adopting the agenda, you may raise your hand through Zoom. Okay. Seeing no objections, the agenda for tonight's meeting is adopted. Next, we will have our pre-registered speakers. Again, few ground rules for you, those wishing to speak. You must, 1, sign up to give testimony, providing your name and affiliation for the public record. 2, you will be allowed 3 minutes to speak. Typically, we recommend speaking for 2 and allowing time for questions for 1 minute for a total of 3 minutes. There will be a timer placed there on your screen. When the timer lapses, I will announce that the 3 minutes is ended. 3, you should address your testimony to the board, not the public. 4, you should speak clearly and into the microphone. 5, should be prepared to respond to board members who may ask questions in order to clarify facts and opinions presented in your comments. Again, a note to our board members, you should only ask clarifying questions. Commentary will not be entertained. Has anyone signed up to speak in the public session, Angel?
Yes, we have 4 people registered. Brianna Peppers, Rosalind Barber, and Kate Madigan from the Delacorte Theater.
All right, so Brianna Peppers. And who was next?
Rosalind Barber and
Rosalind.
Kate Madigan.
Okay, Brianna, you have the 3 minutes.
Thank you. I'm actually going to turn the floor over to Kate Madigan, who's going to speak on behalf of the Public Theater about the Delacorte.
Thanks, Brianna. Hi, everyone. My name is Kate Madigan. I work as the Government Relations Coordinator at the Public Theater, and I'm here today to share a few updates about the Delacorte Theater renovation and free Shakespeare in the park. Following our presentation of the Delacorte renovation design to all 5 community boards, including yours, we presented the design to Landmarks Commission on January 25th and received approval. We are continuing our work with Parks and Central Park Conservancy to refine the design and phasing for the project. We expect to begin phase 1 of construction this fall after our season of free Shakespeare in the park has ended. Phase 1 will be limited to spaces within the Delacorte, and the impact to park users is expected to be limited. Phase 1 construction will wrap up in the spring of 2023, and we will have a full season in 2023 in the fall of free Shakespeare in the park, and then we will begin other phases as well. We have begun info sessions for vendors and a specific focus of hiring MWLBE vendors in order to surpass the city requirements. Your district manager has a copy of the information sheet, and I'll leave my info in the chat for any further questions. And finally, this summer, we have 2 shows at the Delacorte for free Shakespeare in the park. The tickets, as always, are free. Richard III will run from today, June 21st to July 17th. And As You Like It will run August 10th to September 11th. And tickets will be distributed daily at the Delacorte and in locations in the 5 boroughs. We hope you will join us for a performance, and please visit www.publictheater.org for any more questions about the Delacorte renovations. And again, thank you so much for your time.
Great. Thank you so much for being in this space. Do we have any questions from our board members? Again, please raise your hands. Okay. Michelle Wilcher Clement.
Hello there. I was just hoping that you would put that information on the 2 free plays that you're going to be doing when they are. You said July and August, but can you put those dates in the chat, please?
Sure, I'll send them in the chat and make sure district manager has all the information. per email. And you can look on our website. And I'll leave my contact info for any more questions.
But I would like your contact info. Thank you.
Alrighty. Yeah.
Thank you very much. All right. See, there are no further questions. Thank you very much, Kate and Brianna. Who is next, Angel?
The next registered speaker is Sage Mason.
Sage Mason, you have 3 minutes. I
do not see Sage in the attendees.
Okay, we'll hold that open for now. Anyone else?
That was the last registered speaker.
Okay, very good. We'll circle back as we go through our elected officials. Okay, we'll now hear from our local elected officials. If you've not already signed up to speak, we ask that elected officials or their representatives please alert our staff in the chat if they wish to give a report. We ask that any event, service literature be sent to our office that we may post and share it as appropriate. Please keep your report to 3 minutes and to be mindful not to repeat what others have already mentioned. Again, the same rule of 3, 2 minutes to present, 1 minute for questions. You will have the timer there in your screen, and I will remind you of the 3-minute mark. Have any elected officials or their representatives signed up to speak?
Yes, we have Deputy Speaker Diana Ayala.
Okay. Okay. All right, Deputy Speaker Ayala.
Hello, everyone. How are you? I apologize for having my camera off, but I just got home and you don't want to see what's behind me. Either which way, I just wanted to come by and say hello. I know that I haven't been able to participate in the last few months. It's been a really hectic 6 months, and we've been working really hard at City Hall to wrap up the budget, which we were able to adopt last week. We received, a number of wins in this budget process, but there were also some issues that I know were of concern to the community, that the biggest issue being cuts to the Board of Education and the Department of Education, and how that would impact schools locally. So I wanted to kind of speak on that, but I wanted to, before that, to add a couple of things that we did get, wins on. So we were able to get additional resources for Work, Learn, Grow, which is a program that acts as in the same way that SYEP would, but allows young people to work year round. I was a Work, Learn, Grow student myself. I wasn't called that, but but it was, I found it very helpful. We also were able to get $22 million for litter basket removal. So we will now be getting 6 days a week, 2 times a day litter basket removal, which is great. We got additional funding for school school parks and rat mitigation program, e-waste programs, a lot of environmental stuff, culturals. We will, programs we're asking for, I believe $50 million. For CIGs, we were able to get 40. We got some money for CUNY. We got, and I can offer a breakdown, and if you subscribe to our mailer, you have that information firsthand as well. But in regards to the school, I just wanted to add that the complexity is that there is a formula for the determining how schools are funded, and it's by pupil. It's a horrible formula that is used to date. We were able to use federal funding to avoid going back to that for the last 2 years. The mayor opted not to do that. He has made a commitment to ensure that every student is fully funded. We have an oversight hearing on Friday, so any of you that would like to testify, I welcome you to sign up as quickly as possible. And if you have difficulty, please let us know. And I think one of the other bigger issues that we were able to get was that we were able to get 6 new units of appropriation in the NYPD, which is huge because for the first time, these units of appropriation, which have historically just been 1, allow us to see exactly how the NYPD and other agencies are utilizing their funds.
Okay. Wow. Thank you, Len. Very, very well. Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Do we have any questions from the board members? Jessica Elliott.
Hi, Councilmember Ayala. Thank you so much for your report and for the wins for environmental needs for our community. It's great to hear that we'll be getting increased sanitation services for our litter collection. I just wanted to make you aware that one of our items on the agenda today is exploring a resolution regarding the New York City Department of Sanitation and the commitments to the 2017 East Harlem Points of Agreement. So we would just like to make you aware of that and note that we hope to work with your office moving forward to fulfill the promises that the city made to our community in regards, especially to the sanitation garages.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm on top of that as well. And I had gotten wind that you guys were looking to, to look into having conversations with sanitation about that. And I think that you should. On my end, I will follow up as well. Thank you so much, Jessica.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. Seeing no other questions, thank you very much for being with us, Deputy Speaker Ayala.
Thank you.
Hope you have a good evening.
I'll see you in the summer.
All right, definitely. We'll see you in the summer. And glad to hear the appropriation. I actually got a fielded a call from people over on Pleasant about radishes that I'll be able to share that news. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right.
All right. Wonderful. Who is next, Angel?
Marco Perez, representing the District Attorney's Office.
Okay, Marco, you got your 3. You're up.
Hello, good afternoon. Again, my name is Marco Perez Jr. I'm the East Harlem Community Engagement Coordinator at the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. Thank you so much for having me here today. I have a couple of updates for you all. One, DA Bragg has brought 2 indictments against 2 gun traffickers from North Carolina within the last 2 weeks. Zaquan Gaillard was one of the indictments for allegedly trafficking guns from North Carolina to New York City. Gaillard allegedly sold 16 semi-automatic pistols totaling for more than $28,000 to an undercover NYPD officer on 7 separate occasions. 8 of those guns that were recovered are considered Taurus or SCCYs, which are models that are most prevalent in firearms used in New York City gun crimes. The second indictment was the indictment of Tariq Cologne, who was indicted for selling 36 guns from North Carolina to an undercover officer in Harlem over several months. Cologne was charged in New York State Supreme Court with an indictment of a criminal count of criminal sale of a firearm in the first degree and 16 counts of criminal sale of a firearm in the third degree. That's my first update. My second update is the DA Bragg, the Manhattan District Attorney, and the Brooklyn District Attorney, Eric Gonzalez, and the NYPD have made an announcement of a ghost gun arsenal takedown. This collaboration had led to the announcement of the indictment of Renee Loyola, 25 years old, for illegally purchasing and possessing a $20,000 arsenal of ghost guns, including more than 30 frames and receivers and nearly 300 high-capacity magazines and related gear from online realtors. Another update I have on behalf of our office is we're having a gun buyback on June 25th. That's Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The purpose of this event, known as the gun buyback, is to encourage community members to surrender their guns. This event will be conducted with no questions asked because we are not looking to investigate any gun being surrendered by the public. I emphasize this because we want to make sure community members feel comfortable in doing so. The main goal of the gun buyback is to get guns off the street. This event is being done in coordination with our NYPD partners. For each operable gun or assault rifle, a community member can receive up to $500 in a prepaid card. For a rifle or shotgun, they get $150 in a prepaid card. For a BB gun or imitation pistol, they get $50 in a prepaid card. Some frequently asked questions in the last couple of seconds I have. Do you need identification? No, because we're not looking to identify people. How can you bring a gun? In a plastic bag, brown bag, or a box? If you're transporting it by car, it has to be in the trunk of the car. Is there a number? The number is 646-610-5323 to call for more information about the gun buyback. And I have exchanged this information with Angel Muscane. That is the conclusion of my report, and I open the floor to questions. Thank you.
Any board members who have questions? Okay, I don't see any hands raised. Again, thank you, Marco, and thank you for the Art of Healing event that was hosted by the DA. It was a wonderful event. Oh, I see Dawn Sanders. Dawn?
Yes, I just wanted to say thanks because I believe you came to the public safety transportation meeting and we had some questions come up, and I see that in this address or this presentation, you have actually answered some of those questions we had at the last meeting. So thank you for being sensitive to that. Just want to point that out. We noticed that you brought more information that supplemented what you gave us at public safety. So thanks, that's all.
Thank you. Thank you. A big shout out to Council Member Diana Ayala for collaborating in the Art of Healing, and thank you all for attending and spreading the word.
Thank you to both. All right, seeing there are no further questions, thank you for being with us. All right, who's next, Angel?
Stacy Marius with Assemblymember Dickens' office.
Hi, Stacy, you have 3 minutes.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Just wanted to give a couple of brief announcements. I know that the Assemblywoman has introduced a few of her bills which have passed over this last year through the Senate. So I just wanted to just go over a couple of them, and one of them is which is the act to amend the real property law in relation to the tenant's rights to offset the rental payments by the cost of certain emergency repairs. So that was one of the bills that was passed along this year. She also signed on to the legislation to provide a safe haven to women seeking abortion, which protects the providers. She was also a co-signer of the Challenging Wrongful Convictions Act, which advances restorative justice. So that was some of the co-signed bills that she was on this year. So the other bill that, the last and final bill that I have, which was to amend the education law as it relates to the language equality and the acquisition for the deaf children. So those are just a few so far that went through the Senate. So thank you for allowing me to brief you up before the end of the summer. I hope everyone has a safe summer.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions? Okay. Seeing no hands raised, thank you very much for being with us as always, and have a safe summer.
Thank you very much.
Who's next, Angel?
I think that's the last one. I'm not sure if Harry Gale is in there or someone similar.
I'd seen him log on, and
Hi,
I know that
I am here and would be happy to
Hey.
speak.
It's you. Yeah, there's
All
a
right.
typo in your last name. Sorry about that, Harry.
Oh, my fault.
That's his stage name. You've got 3.
Thank you so much for having me, everyone. Great to see you before we break for the summer. To get right to it, I know everyone wants to hear about what we were able to accomplish in this past budget. So to start off, we did pretty great with capital projects for our district, being able to allocate in conjunction with the speaker, the mayor, and the borough president, $21 million in discretionary funding for Council District 5 projects. These include maintaining green spaces, more robust social service providers, school capital projects, etc. In the general budget, we were pretty happy with what we were able to do with sanitation. We've been pushing for it since we've taken office, but specifically, we were able to secure $22 million to support citywide 6-day-a-week, twice-day litter basket service pickup, which we will further subsidize to keep our streets clean. We are enhancing the school organics collection program to $9.2 million in funding, $3.5 million in funding to support organic drop-off sites, and new public waste container pilot program services, $1.28 million. We're very concerned with the cuts to the education funding. The councilwoman is planning to start now and working with the speaker in her office to do everything we can when it comes to mitigation. We are funding, though, quite a bit in our summer programming for our youth. Summer Rising program has $277 million, which now serves 110,000 students in grades K to 8, up more than 10% from last year. The city's also expanding summer youth employment program to 100,000 slots by baselining almost $80 million. When it comes to affordable housing, we're expanding city FEPs to fully fund and increase the rental voucher rate to match Section 8 levels, which is $237 million, expanding funding to drop-in centers, safe haven beds, and stabilization beds. That will be $171.3 million. We are protecting working and middle-class homeowners with a $90 million property tax rebate for owners making less than $250,000 a year. Additional staff and services Department of Housing Preservation and Development, which is HPD, $19.2 million. On a separate note, we will be having a hearing soon on our universal child care push, which includes 5 bills, and we'll be, of course, giving that information to Xavier to disseminate to all of you. And it was so great to have you, Xavier, at our child care rally just a couple weeks ago. And so that's all from me.
Okay, thank you very much. Are there any questions for Harry? Okay. Oh, Beverly Pavone, a question.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Thank you, Harry. I'm not sure of what department you're coming from. And my second question is, can you give me a little more information about the money that you're giving to HPD?
Sure, but I'm not coming from a department. I'm coming from New York City Councilwoman Julie Menon's office. I apologize if I didn't announce that at the beginning. And for HPD, that's for additional staff and services. So from my end, we work with HPD every day when it comes to maintenance issues, taking on landlords that don't do the right thing during the winter, especially during February. Every day we have multiple requests for HPD to help with buildings whose heat had been turned off, and the response times have just been so long, and it's just due to a severe underfunding, and they're just completely understaffed. And a lot of our constituents really do feel the consequences of that. So this money is meant to increase staff, and so we could get these response times way down.
Okay, thank you, Beverly, for the question. And thank you, Harry. I don't see any other questions. Good to see you. Good to see you at the rally. Thanks for what Councilmember Menon does. I'm going to move things along. I'm going to circle back to our pre-registered speakers, and I believe we had Sage Mason. And just as a quick reminder for those members of the public, I do not actively monitor the chat because I'm keeping the whole meeting flowing. Angel, Marlene, do we have any other people who wish to speak?
Yes, we have one. We have one more registered speaker, Gabriel Jameson, Center for New York City Neighborhoods.
Hi, Gabriel. You have 3 minutes. If you didn't hear the spiel, I recommend giving your 2 up front and then leave 1 minute for questions to make for an efficient delivery. But welcome to our space virtually while we have it, and please.
Hi, everyone. Good. Thank you for allowing me to come tonight. I'm going to make it real fast because I only got a couple seconds. So let's make it real fast. My name is Gabriel Jameson. Tonight I will be giving a presentation on the Black Homeownership Project from the Center for New York City Neighborhood. So the Black Homeownership Project was born out of the Equitable Blueprint Project in 2019 because we saw that it was a decline. We researched that it was a decline in Black homeownership across New York City from 2002, from 2017. There is a 15-year gap period, and we see that 20,000 homes are missing from the market, and they're all Black homeowners. So I'm going to just run through some new pilot interventions. So at the Center for New York City Neighborhood, I've been working on some pilot interventions, and some of them are down payment assisted navigation, matching saving, homeowner landlord services, pathway to tenant purchase, expanding state planning. So these are five interventions that's up and running at the Center for New York City Neighborhood. At the Center for New York City Neighborhood for you guys to take advantage of. I'm just going to touch on a little 2 more. So the first one, down payment assisted. Down payment assisted is a digital tool for home buyers and counselors that can aggregate down payment assisted. Matches saving accelerator is to build financial capacity for both aspiring homeowners and existing homeowners to match saving. A simple way you can look at that, that's kind of how when elected officials run for office, we do matching funds for them. We give them $10, it doubles. We have that here. So we have 5 interventions that are up and running at the Center for New York City Neighborhood. At the time that I've been at the Center for New York City, I've been working on 5 new interventions, 5 new pilot interventions. The first one is FHA reform, cooperative housing, anti-discrimination, building, and credit building, holistic counseling for senior special and peer-to-peer counseling. The first one is FHA reform. The goal for FHA was to repeal the mortgage insurance premium and pay first-time home buyer counseling. Like I said, cooperative housing, anti-discrimination. We wanted to create more transparent system with cooperative housing because we know that they have a lot of discriminatory practices. Building credit was basically, credit building was basically to improve credit profile in the African American community by giving them connecting your utility bills to credit building. The last one is holistic counseling, is a financial literacy campaign aimed for wills, estate planning, and tax abatements for our seniors. And the last one is peer-to-peer. Peer-to-peer is basically to create organized power at the center. To create organized power within community, the community of homeowners. Once again, my name is Gabriel Jameson. Once again, my name is Gabriel Jameson. I'm a Morgan Stanley Fellow at the Center for New York City Neighborhood, and this is some of the research I've been done. And please take advantage of these resources that's at the Center for New York City Neighborhood underneath the Black Homeownership Project. Anyone can take advantage of them. Thank you.
Thank you. Could you state your contact information?
Okay, so yeah, sorry, I'll put it in the chat. I'll put it in the chat for you guys.
Yeah, but just for the record, please, for those that
Okay,
are.
so my name is Gabriel Jameson from the Center for New York City Neighborhood. My email is gabriel.jameson@cnycn.org. Another way you can get in contact with me is bhp-engage@cny.cny.org.
Great, thank you. I presume, Angela, that was your question you had. Okay, well, your hand's down. Beverly?
Can you please still put it in the chat? Because I couldn't catch what you said.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you, Angela. Beverly, your question?
Yes, thank you, Gabriel, for the presentation. That type of initiatives are definitely needed for Black home ownership. My question to you is whether or not are you getting any assistance with or working with HPD on any of these initiatives? Because I know HPD had a program called TIL where they was having tenants, work towards home ownership. They haven't been really funding it in the way that it originally started, but I want to know if he was getting any feedback or any help from HPD and the initiative programs that you have. And
I don't want to really, okay, I can answer your question. I don't really want to bite my tongue because my agency does work with HPD, but I don't think it's regarding, I guess, this. I don't want to sit there and say anything I get in trouble with. But no, this is from JP Morgan that's funding this initiative underneath the Center for New York City Neighborhood. These are their interventions and their solution to preserve and expand Black homeownership across New York City because it's a big problem.
All right, thank you very much for the presentation.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Gabriel. And I would recommend for you to come when we reconvene in September to our housing committee to present in full detail. That would be fantastic. All right, wonderful. That I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Angel, that concludes our pre-registered speakers and our elected officials and our representatives.
That's correct.
Okay, our borough president will be logging in a bit later, so we will move along in the agenda. And when we have a pocket of time or a break in between committee reports and action items, we will allow him to give his report when he lands. Okay, so all right, wonderful. All right, so now the minutes from the last board meeting were distributed to board members ahead of time by the board office. If there's no objection, we will adopt the minutes from that meeting. Board members, if you object to adopting the minutes, you may raise your hand through Zoom. Seeing no objections, the minutes from the last full board meeting are adopted. They will soon be available on the CB11 website. Next up is the chair report that was submitted earlier today. I tend to submit it just in case there are last minute events that happen over the weekend or even on the Monday before full board. Again, I want to thank you all board members. We've had the past 2 quarters. It's been a bit of an endurance trial, as has the last 2 years. Thank you for your patience. Welcome again to our new members. You kind of jumped in feet first. Welcome, welcome. Your committee selection forms to all our board members will be going out in the coming weeks. Please select the top 4 committees. You may not get every single top choice that you want. Again, we're trying to align everything after I consult with our district manager and with our committee chairs on where the benefits are, well, where your attributes will best serve that committee or your interest. We have had some recent attrition from seasoned board members. So I'm looking at making sure that we have individuals have institutional knowledge serving on all of our committees to help guide the process so we can better advocate for the community of East Harlem. So thank you for that. A brief summary: attended the groundbreaking, the flood prevention wall at Metropolitan Hospital. If those who were here remember Hurricane Sandy, how it left damage to crucial systems in the hospital's basement, primarily impacting necessary life-saving equipment devoted to the ICUs. Luckily, none of the patients were impacted, but they had to be relocated as a result. They will have the unveiling of that wall with the artwork, and that will be completed in 2024, and it will feature some of the work from Hyder Mirastani and several other artists. May 26th, the 125th Street bid, met with them, dealing with a lot of the same issues with refuse and rubbish and everything. They clean it up and it gets torn into. They're going through their budget process. They do have concerns with the mayor's office and the proposed budget, but again, we're trying to find ways to bridge those gaps. May 31st, Jessica Ellie and I attended the virtual orientation for our new members. Thank you so much to those that came and attended. Angel appreciates it as well. It was a lot of great information. Again, a lot of this is informational purposes that have been announced earlier, but again, June 8th, attended the Human Capital Committee of UMass. There was a live presentation of Perscolis Inc. and their program, which creates upward mobility through training and technology. I've asked them in September to come to EcoDev and Culture to present once they moved a little further along in the UMass process. Friends of La Marqueta, we've met on June 10th. And again, dealing with the various stages of the MTA's viaduct project and improvement. Also, too, I was invited to a presentation by NIRI out in Marcus Garvey. You'll see that information in the report, but there seems to be a misunderstanding about presenting to the board versus stating things to board members and to having closed door meetings or meetings that are private, and that's not necessarily a presentation to the community board. So we were able to bridge that gap, and hopefully we'll have Kaylin C. come out and present to hopefully our Human Services Committee in September. A lot of great festivities with the Puerto Rican Day Parade and the 116th Street Festival. Attended those. Please go down to see Justice Sonia Sotomayor. Her mural is beautiful right there at Cherry Tree Park. Walked in the parade. Thank you to our board members who came along. Rosa Diaz, Angela Donadel, Brandon Gillespie, Natasha Rodriguez. It was great just to walk after 2 years of not being able to celebrate, and we appreciate that support. The rest of it is for information purposes only. I really must impress on you. Please have a safe summer. COVID is still going around. Even if you're vaccinated, it can be asymptomatic, or you can have a mild presentation, but it can impact those around you. So please stay safe. Thank you. That's my report. Are there any questions? Yeah. Next time I'll try to do the Jim Carrey delivery, like all in one breath. So seeing that there are no questions, Angel Mescain, you're up.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. So I forwarded my report earlier today. I just wanted to highlight one thing. As you know, we've been staff member short for going on 7 months now. And I wanted to take a second to thank Marlene for being such a great partner all these months, right? We've been having to carry a lot of work, just us two. Super flexible and super, team player. It's very much appreciated. It's kept me, out of the hospital. She's been wonderful. So I wanted to say that. Then I also wanted to, to thank the members of the hiring committee that took time out of their, busy work days to assist with the panel interviews. We finally got to that stage after all these months. It's been a bit of a struggle. But I'm, so very happy that they took that time. It's so very helpful. We've identified, a really good candidate for that position, which you'll be voting on later, in this meeting. We're very excited. He's very excited. So after all these many months of waiting for that seat to be filled, we're almost there. So just wanted to say thank you to Xavier and Nilsa and Jose and Jessica Elliott for taking the time out of their busy days when they're actually working and doing interviews at the simultaneously, which is very much appreciated. And that concludes my report. I also want to wish everybody a happy summer. The staff will be here, but we won't be doing meetings, obviously, I think just for budget. So the rest of you have the summer off from committee meetings, but we're here. If you want to stop by, if you want to make a call, if you have a question about what committees you want to pick or what, whatever, we're here at your disposal. And that's it. Thank you, guys. Not disposal, service.
Any questions? Okay, seeing that there are none, we'll move along to our officers' report. Jessica Elliott. Do you have
Chair,
yep.
I have no report. I think I just wanted to add of all the events that we attended. I also attended the Friends of the East River Esplanade event for the fundraising and celebrating the wins of the funding to the East River Esplanade over the last year or so on June 13th. So congratulations to them and welcome to all the new board members. It was great to see you at the event.
Okay, thank you. Our treasurer is excused from this evening. Our secretary report will be addressed a little later in executive, but I allow her to say a few words if she has an additional information to add. Giselle?
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. No report. I also want to wish everyone a safe and fun summer, and also welcome to all the new board members. Thank you.
Thank you, Giselle. And I do want to say thank you real quick to Jessica Elliott, who stepped up for me as I was feeling unwell on Friday to attend the Abney and Africa Center tour. So thank you, Jessica. Moving on to committee reports and action items. First up, we have licenses and permits. I know Adem is excused at the moment. He said he was going to try to log on if he was feeling well enough. Judith, do you have the information in front of you? Otherwise, I can read it in. It's Judith. I saw her on a moment ago. Okay, I do. Judith? Okay, I'm going to move things along.
Wait, I'm here. I was
Okay.
muted. I don't have the information in front of me. I thought Adem was going to be here, and I had a problem getting on. I just got on about 5-10 minutes ago.
Okay, all right, then I will read through the list real quick and that I have in front of me to make things efficient. So you before us as business items were committee recommendations. Number one was to approve the application of Vinyl Beer LLC doing business as Vinyl Beer for a new and class change application for a full liquor license number 1325127. Number two was a denial of the application of Urbano Isidoro for class change to full liquor license number 1120981. Number three was to approve the application of Enzo Harlem Empire Inc. doing business as Caramia for a new wine, beer, and cider license for a restaurant located at 227 East 116th Street, corner of 2nd Avenue. Number four was to deny the application of Uni NYC LLC doing business as Toriotto to renew a full liquor license number 1279952. Next slide. Number five was to approve the application of Teamwork on 3 LLC doing business as Teamwork on 3 to renew a full liquor license number 1326339. Number six was to deny the application of 1590 Lupita Restaurant Corp doing business as Lupita's Restaurant to renew a full liquor license number 1278423. Number seven, approve the application of the East Harlem Bottling Company doing business East Harlem Bottling Co. to renew a wine, beer, and cider license number 1290929. Next slide. Okay, and the next are our block parties. And what I'm going to do for efficiency is we're 8, 9, 10, and 11 are moot as they have already passed. So these events have passed already. The 2 were to approve, 8 was approved, 9 was to approve, 10 was a denied, and 11 was to be denied, but we will not be addressing them because the events have passed as we do typically. Number 12 is the Welcome Summer and number 640839 block party, June 25th, 2022, set up 9:30 a.m., breakdown is 6:30 p.m., location east 115th Street between First Avenue and Pleasant Avenue. It's a full street closure. Applicant is Danielle Hospedales and sponsors residents of the block, and they recommended the application to be denied. Number 13, Fifth Avenue July party, number 643378 block party, July 23rd, 2022, set up 1 p.m., breakdown 9 p.m. Location is East 126th Street between Fifth Avenue and Madison Avenue. Street closure it's a full street closure. Applicant is Megan Moore and sponsors 2041 Fifth Avenue, Fifth HDFC Co-op residents of the block. The committee recommends the application be approved. Next is the Honoring Cicely Tyson Community Celebration 637462 street event, July 6, 2022, set up at 9 a.m., breakdown at 6:30 p.m. Location East 101st Street between Lexington Avenue and 3rd Avenue. It's a full street closure. Applicant was Debbie Quinones. Friends of the Art Park Alliance. Committee recommends this application be approved. 15 is Uptown Bounce 2022, number 645052 street event, set up at 3 p.m. July 21st, 2022, set up at 3 p.m. Breakdown August 4th, 9 p.m. Location East 104th Street between 5th Avenue and Madison Avenue. It's full street closure, and applicant is Chelsea Pelot, sponsor El Museo del Barrio. The committee recommends that this application be approved. Okay, just going down. All right, Family Day number 632237 block party, August 5th, 2022, set up 9 a.m., breakdown 5:30 p.m. East 127th Street between 3rd Avenue and Lexington Avenue. It's a full sidewalk closure. Sponsor applicant is Diane Span, sponsor Addie Mae Collins Community Service. Application, the committee recommends that this application be approved. 16 is Giglio Fest St. Antonio, number 639257, number 639264, number 639267, and number 639270 street event, August 3rd. Set up 7 a.m., breakdown August 8 a.m. Location 1 is Pleasant Avenue between 14th Street and 16th Street, and 14th Street between Pleasant Avenue and First Avenue, and 15th Street between Pleasant Avenue and First Avenue. Street closure, sidewalk closure, and curb lane closure. Applicant is Mitchell Farman, and sponsors of Giglio Society of East Harlem, Our Lady of Mount Carmel Shrine Church, Sons of San Polino Inc., and Union Settlement Operation Fat Pack. And the committee recommends that this application be approved. Okay. 18 is Family Day number 629528 block party, August 13th, set up 10 a.m., breakdown 8 p.m. East 99th Street between Lex Avenue and Park Avenue. Applicant, it's a full street closure. Applicant is Anik Webster, Lexington Houses Resident Council. The committee recommends that this application be approved. 19 Old Timers Block Party number 637022 block party, August 20th, set up 11 a.m., breakdown 8 p.m. Location East 100th Street between First Ave and Second Ave. Full street closure. Applicant is Alan Cox, sponsor 342 East 100th Street Co-op Association. The committee recommends that this application be approved. Number 20, Family Day 650609 block party, August 20th, set up 9 a.m., breakdown 6 p.m. Location East 138th Street between Madison Avenue and 5th Avenue. It's full street closure. Charlotte Miamiasi, sponsor Riverton Tenants Association. The committee recommends that this application be approved. 21 and back to school number 650268 block party, August 20th. Set up 10 a.m., breakdown 6 p.m. Location East 117th Street between Madison Avenue and 5th Avenue. Full street closure. Applicant is Erica Johnson, sponsor residents of the block. The committee recommends this application be approved. Next slide. I will get to questions in just a moment. 22 is Rehoboth Annual Back to School Festival 635324. August 27th, set up 9 a.m., breakdown 5 p.m. East 118th Street between Lex Avenue and 3rd Avenue, full street closure. Obed Vasquez is the applicant, sponsor Misión Cristiana Rehoboth, Inc. Committee recommends this application be approved. And 23 Mexican Independence Day 2022, number 648923, single block festival. It will be September 8th, set up 8 a.m., breakdown 8 p.m., East 116th Street between 3rd Avenue and 2nd Avenue, full street closure. Applicant is Pablo Guzman and sponsors Union Settlement. The committee recommended this application be approved. And that should wrap it. I'm going to bundle all these, but first a question, Jessica Morris.
Yeah, just a note for the record, those of us who aren't looking on the screen, the Cicely Tyson Day is July 16th, not July 6th, but well done with the read through, Xavier.
Thank you very much for that note. July 16th, this coming Saturday. Although I've heard that the event may be moved, but that's TBD. Either way, this is what was presented. Diane Collier.
It's about item number 13.
Stand by. Please go to item 13. Okay.
Okay, Uptown Grand Central had a Make Music New York event in that block, and I got an earful from the people in that block regarding this particular block party, that they've said that they were not contacted by the sponsors of this party. And so they wanted to know how did that happen? So I'm just putting it out there, guys, that they felt, that they weren't contacted regarding it. The HDFC is really located on Fifth Avenue. Clearly you cannot close off Fifth Avenue. So I would imagine that's why they selected East 126th Street. But the East 126th Street people said they weren't reached out to.
Okay.
Just
Thank you
letting
for
you
that.
know.
Thank you for that information.
And I think we should put a condition on this, that they do contact the people regarding the block party.
Okay. We can do that. I was going to bundle everything. Would you like to make an amendment to bundle, to accept the committee's recommendation with the exception that number 13, the Fifth Avenue July party, number 643378, contact the residents 126th Street?
I think let me just follow what you just said. I agree to all of it with the exception of 13 and without that condition, and 16. I didn't understand that. 16 is another one I can't vote on because I sit on that board as well as the Riverton Tenant Association. So those 16 and 20, present but not voting.
Okay. Well, all right. We'll note that for the record. So Stephanie, you had a question real quick?
Yeah, from my understanding, unless things have changed, I thought for a street closure, that's one of the requirements is to reach out to residents on the block and have them fill out like a petition showing their address and their names. Is that not the case? And business owners as well, no?
So I will refer to Marlene and Judith real quick. Did they present all their materials showing that they had reached out to members on the block?
On which one?
Go ahead, Judith. You can answer it if you would like.
No, on which one?
13, the Fifth Avenue July party, block party, closing down East 126th Street between Fifth Avenue and Madison Avenue.
I know there was one that didn't have the documents. I don't know if that was the one. Was it, Marlene?
So just to answer the question directly that Stephanie just asked. So the committee decided during the pandemic in 2020 to relax that requirement for petitions for support. So that's why all of these applications do not have petitions for support. So once the committee decides to reinstate that, then petitions for support will be provided.
Okay, so that would explain to Diane's point earlier about outreach. Okay, and all right, so we have two options before us because I'd like to get this done. Yes, Stephanie, you have one more
I'm
question.
so sorry. I don't want to I'm wondering, is that is the committee thinking of doing this? Is this on the agenda when we get back?
Reinstituting collecting petitions.
Correct.
That is something that will be up for discussion, but that will,
when we get back.
Adam and I speak and Angel, when we have our consult, yes, that is something we'll be assessing, and a lot will be determined by whether COVID is as prevalent as it is now, does it drop off, et cetera, and so on. So, Diane.
So I have a question as well, so please.
Yeah, please just, yeah, make sure you raise your hand so I can see it.
It has been raised for quite some time.
I don't see it even right now. So I'll come to you. Just let Diane go ahead. Your question, then I'll come to you.
No, to your point, Xavier, to move it along, why don't we pull out 13 to talk about a friendly amendment and vote on everything else? Unless there are other questions.
I'll ask Jules, and then if you'd like to make a motion to approve all except for 13, and then you can be present not voting for the ones you stipulated, we can carry on and then come back to 13. So let me go to Jules, and then I'll circle back if you would like.
Thank you. Can we go to 15, please?
15, Uptown Bounce.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just going by the original email that was sent out. There was a conditional, so just clarifying whether the conditions were approved. So
the condition was that, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Diane, do you want to make that motion to approve all?
Make a motion to approve all with the exception of 13, which will be pulled out for discussion. But I recommend that all 13 be approved. I mean, all the others be approved.
Okay. Okay, copy that. So you were wanting to approve all of the committee's recommendations except for 13.
Except for 13. Let's address that separately.
Yeah, I've got that. I'm just restating the motion, and then I'll call for a second. So you were supporting the committee's recommendation except for 13. Is there a second? Pastor Isaac, saw your hand up first.
I have a question.
Okay, your question.
I'm wondering if this requirement to gain community sort of buy-in on block parties, if that's been relaxed across all of the events that are here, would it make sense that we make an amendment to one if the rest of them sort of went about the same process?
I think in the event that historically that there have been some issues raised with this particular one, I think that's why the note was made. So there's nothing, again, we dropped the requirement because of COVID, but in this particular instance, because there has been community feedback, it's about engaging and having the group participate and making sure that the community residents on that block who are impacted by the event are being heard. Which is what typically would happen. They would collect petitions and whatnot. So we're not asking so much that, but we have a motion before the body of approving all of these. So does that answer your question, or?
Yes, it does. I hope, are we going to, when we open this up for discussion, are we going to talk about that history that you just mentioned with this particular event? Because it feels a little isolated.
Yeah, we will, in carving it out, we will when we have this second motion. So
thank you, sir.
Thank you. John Green.
Second.
Okay, please call the roll, Giselle.
Jose Altamirano,
Yes.
Leroy Andino, Stephanie Arroyo,
Yes.
Erica Cancela, April Autry,
Yes.
Adem Brija, Juhaid Chardy, Diane Collier.
Yes, except for 16 and 20 present not voting.
Devin Cronshaw,
Yes.
Kenneth Crouch,
Yes.
Brianna DaCosta,
Yes.
Carlos Diaz, Rosa Diaz,
Yes.
Angela Donadell,
So I vote yes, but I believe I have to do present not voting, and I don't know which one it was, but it's the event that Union Settlement is in.
okay. Jessica Elliott,
Yes.
Judy Ferraro, Raja Flores,
Judith says yes. I'm sorry, I was muted.
okay. Raja Flores, Osendi Garcia, Brandon Gillespie,
Yes.
David Giordano,
Yes.
John Green,
Aye.
Wanda Hopkins, James Horton, Alonso Johnson, Jewel Jones,
I vote yes to all except for 19, where I'm voting no for number 19.
Marissa Mack, Malik McCullough, Jennifer Meyer,
Yes.
Jessica Morris,
Yes.
Nelsa Orama,
Yes to all.
Beverly Pavon,
Yes.
Arturo Perez,
Yes.
Claudia Perez, Roberto Perez, Sebastian Robinson Teague, Natasha Rodriguez,
Yes.
Eugene Rodriguez,
Yes.
Don Sanders,
Yes.
Xavier Santiago,
Yes.
Isaac Scott,
Yes.
Russell Schuler,
Yes.
Vincent Torres, Anne Marie Vasquez,
Yes.
Hilda Vivas Vasquez, Michelle Wilcher Clement,
Yes to all.
Jordan Wright,
Yes.
Jason Wu. Okay, motion passes.
Giselle, what was your vote? Giselle?
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, and we're going to
You're
go back. Thank you, Giselle. We're going to go back to number 13, the Fifth Avenue July party, number 643378 block party. It is Diane Collier raised the concern that communities in that area have reservations about not being consulted. Our board process since the pandemic is not, we have not maintained the requirement to do the typical outreach and petitioning. Is that correct, Marlene?
Yes, it's correct.
Okay. And so in this particular instance, we have a couple options. I mean, the complaints that were registered, Diane, I'm addressing to you, were they in reference to this block party or in lieu of the event that was held by Uptown Grand Central and there was feedback given from that event? If you could clarify.
So let's address this particular one. The Uptown Grand Central I'll address separately. This wasn't like a whole group of people on the block. It was one or two people, particularly the woman who owns the historic brownstone, okay, who said that the block was not approached. Hearing what she said, I had suggested that they come to the board. She comes to the board meeting, express their concerns, but of course, as usual, they said, you know, they just wanted us to know it. So I'm just doing my due diligence and telling everyone about it. Clearly, if you're familiar at all with that area, 2041 Fifth Avenue sits on Fifth Avenue. We can't close Fifth Avenue. We all can agree to that. So they chose the block that they cat a corner to, which is 126. I think they should just meet with them and talk with them about what they plan to do, get their input so that feelings aren't hurt and that they, you know, can move forward with their party.
Okay, thank you very much, Diane. So I will, hold on. I will entertain, if there's no further questions, discussion, if that's a recommendation you're making, is that they engage with the residents of that block, or at least have a conversation. We can do
That's
provision.
correct. That's the condition to be approved. They should engage with them.
Okay. And Jose, you have a question?
Is this for the 25th, which is in 4 days?
No,
It's
July
July
23rd.
July 23rd. Perfect. Thank you.
All right, Angela? Hold on.
So I'm
Go
gonna
on.
go back to what Pastor Scott said. If we didn't give that as a criteria for the other people who are going to be having events fairly, unless there was something that happened in particular that was problematic, then that motion should pass, and we can suggest that they speak to them, but I don't think that they have to.
Thank you. I hear you, Angela, and I hear about the degree of fairness that both you and Pastor Scott raised. I think the recommendation would be a provisional approval of the application. And I think that is where the recommendation was, not that it would be a way of ensuring that there's at least communication lines, but that's my understanding. We don't have the motion before the floor, but thank you for
I have a
raising.
question.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
means whether they do it or not, they still have the ability to have this event because it was already, we approved it.
Well, it then goes to the next stage with SAPO, and then it goes to the other authorities involved in the chain. So that's what would happen next.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Are there any other questions? Jessica Moore, she had a question.
I just have a comment. I think sitting on the Licenses and Permits Committee and seeing these applications for street activity come through, each one is unique, and unless there is someone present speaking to the application, or someone on the committee who lives in the vicinity who is aware of the tradition of the activity or of standing issues that may result from street activity, there isn't often a lot of feedback or direct communication. So the fact that Diane has received feedback and is encouraging good neighborly communication and activity, I think as a board, for us to encourage and support that is in line with what our responsibility is. So it's great to hear about these things and to encourage those who are stewarding public activities to be as neighborly and as considerate of neighbors as possible. So I think that's what Angela's getting at, that it's not a mandate, but a suggestion to extend communication and for us to reconsider that requirement as we move out of COVID times. Is that correct?
That is my understanding of what was.
I agree, Jessica.
Okay, please raise your hands, but thank you. Again, this is why many times we've had conversations about putting ourselves forward in having dialogue and bringing people back to the board so they can actually have the dialogue with us at our committee level and sharing that information. So thank you, Diane, for bringing this, and it'll be good for the future to have them come in person to register these concerns. So Diane, you have your hand raised.
Yeah, and to that point, yes, and that's pretty much what I said to them. I said you needed to come to the community board so that you understand the process as well as to register your concerns. Of course, I'd be willing to take it back because I was coming to the meeting tonight. To the other point that you made about the Uptown Grand Central and the naming of the street, again, this is a block this is a very historic block and very closed in their activities beyond 126th Street. We have even in that instance, they signed a petition. And then when the woke environment came up, they suddenly said, we don't want it. So you can sign petitions and still change your mind. It's neither here nor there. But this, I'm just want to talk about this one. I just think they should engage that with that community on 126th Street. That is not their real block. That block is really Fifth Avenue.
Okay, thank you. I will then, having everyone have the opportunity to speak, I will entertain a motion on the floor. Beverly, your hand's up.
Yes, in regards to where the location of this building is, their building is the corner building. So they do have, windows and everything, that's on 126th Street side, even their, backyard to their property is in 126th Street. And, even when the, National Black Theater, was coming about regarding their construction, they had to put contact that building because of the shadow that was going to be, they had some input because of the shadows that was going to be from the National Black Theater project was going to affect their view and everything. So, them not, even though their address is on Fifth Avenue, it is a corner block. So they go into 126th Street also. So I would think that they will still be part of 126th Street, even though they have a Fifth Avenue address.
Okay, thank you, Beverly. Brandon?
Yes, so Diane, is it my understanding that you asked them to, or you recommended that they come to a board meeting, but they have not done so? Is that what you said? Can you clarify that for me?
So Brandon, no matter who I speak to when they bring up an issue with me, I always tell them to come to a board meeting. I always, so this was not anything unique and my telling her to come to a board meeting. But yes, in this incident, if you were concerned about it before we vote, you should have come to a board meeting.
And so she did not show up.
No, they didn't show up because
Okay.
the other thing was they didn't know. That was her pushback. We didn't know. So that even though Beverly's right, it's a corner building. It sits about a third of 126th Street. Again, I have to go back and reference what Jessica said, which is to do the neighborly thing, which is really to contact them and let them know that this party is happening.
So thank you for the question, Brandon. So we'll now move the meeting along. We'll entertain a motion for number 13. Please raise your hand. Stephanie Arroyo?
Can we motion with a condition?
Yes, you can.
So I'd like to motion to approve with the condition that they reach out to the group that is having issues with this event, if that's possible.
Okay. So you're motioning to approve the Fifth Avenue July party, number 643378, with a condition that they reach out to the concerned residents to address outstanding issues. Is that correct? I'll summarize in more. Okay, is there a second? Michelle Wiltshire Clement, you had your hand raised. Sorry. Say that again.
And make a friendly amendment
What is that?
to have it as a recommendation that they neighborly go and say that this is happening, not to say that they have to, but to recommend that they do, so that it's not separating them specifically out from the rest of the group.
I'm not, we're asking the sponsors to reach out, the applicant to reach out to the people that are concerned on the block.
To recommend that they reach out instead of saying you have to do it.
Okay, Stephanie, do you accept that recommendation?
I mean, it makes sense, but if we're approving with the recommend, I mean, I don't know if there's necessarily, if we're approving, they should go through with getting the approval, and also we're recommending that recommending is better than have to. I don't think I said recommending. I don't think it matters, but I understand what Michelle is saying.
Okay, so do you accept that then?
Yes, I accept that. We recommend that they speak to them.
Speak to them. Okay, all right.
In language, I would like to add a second.
To add a what?
Then with that language, I would like to second.
Okay, you would like to second the
So
motion.
let me just say, Xavier, I don't like cutting you off because you are the chair. Yeah, but we need to put a timeline on it. July 23rd is the actual date. They need to speak to them before then.
Okay.
Okay.
So would you like to make a friendly amendment to
To
that?
the friendly amendment.
Before we entertain the second, is we parliamentarians.
I believe that what Stephanie is saying, that they'd like to approve this application with the recommendation that that the sponsors of the Fifth Avenue July party reach out to the block of 126th Street. Remember, everyone, this is a full street closure.
Right.
So that
So,
means, but
so recommending, let me repeat the motion with the friendly amendment of the friendly amendment.
right.
Is that we're, motion to approve
Right.
with the recommendation to reach out to the residents of 126th Street block between Fifth Avenue and Madison Avenue.
Correct.
Within what time frame?
By before July 23rd. I will, let's make it July 16th or whatever.
By July 16th.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, do we have a second? I have multiple hands coming up. Angela?
I'm not understanding still, because if it wasn't required, I understand so if they don't do it by the 16th, then what happens? They're denied and then they don't have the event?
So Angela, the process goes, and correct me if I'm wrong, Marlene, once they have this, they will then go to SAPO. They will then go to the 25th precinct. I believe that covers that area of Community District 11. They will reach out to the fire department. They go through all those steps. Is that correct, Marlene?
Once they submit application within the SAPO system, all of those parties are already alerted.
Okay.
So this is a recommendation that you all are sending to SAPO. That does not mean that they will not have their event, because SAPO permits, not the board.
Yes. So do you understand now, Angela?
Yes. I
Okay.
still don't understand if we are not making it a requirement for any of the other ones that came forward. Why are we pushing this one? And I understand the neighborly thing, but I just think that this is singling out a particular collective and not looking at the whole. If we do it for this, then everybody should have had to do it.
So
if they
by
were going to
September,
impede on a community.
Angela, yes, Angela, we've heard this point echoed, and I appreciate it. I think then you may choose to vote how you choose to vote on this motion, but we have a second. However, by September, we will be going back to the way we used to do things, which was requiring everyone to do this. It's just an instance of information that was provided. I'd like to move the agenda along.
And I understand that as well.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
I understand that things will change, but that's not where we are right at this moment. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Kenneth, you had a question?
No, I'm just seconding the motion as amended, as doubly amended.
Thank you very much. Please call the roll. So.
Jose Altamirano,
Yes.
Leroy Andino, Stephanie Arroyo,
Yes.
Eric Alcancela, April Autry,
Yes.
Adem Briha, Juhaid Chardy, Diane Collier,
Yes.
Devin Cronshaw,
Yes.
Kenneth Crouch,
Yes.
Brianna Da Costa,
No.
Carlos Diaz, Rosa Diaz,
Yes.
Angela Donadell,
No.
Jessica Elliott,
Yes.
Judith Ferraro,
Yes.
Roger Flores, Osendi Garcia, Brandon Gillespie,
Yes.
David Giordano,
Yes.
John Green,
Aye.
Wanda Hopkins, James Horton, Alonso Johnson,
Yes.
Jewel Jones,
Yes.
Marissa Mack, Malik McCullough, Jennifer Meyer,
Yes.
Jessica Morris,
Yes.
Nosa Orama,
Yes.
Beverly Pavon,
Sustain.
Arturo Perez,
Yes.
Claudia Perez, Roberto Perez, Savasia Robinson T, Natasha Rodriguez,
Yes.
Eugene Rodriguez,
Yes.
Don Sanders, Xavier Santiago,
Yes.
Isaac Scott,
No.
Russell Schuler,
Yes.
Vincent Torres, Anne Marie Vasquez,
Yes.
Jason Villanueva, Hilda Vives Vasquez, Michelle Wilcher Clement,
No.
Jordan Wright,
Yeah.
Jason Wu. Angel, my vote is yes.
Thanks. I didn't hear Michelle's.
Michelle Wilcher Clement,
No.
She's a no. Thank you, Michelle. Motion carries.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone, for your patience. We will address as we get into September. Like I said, we will have all of our committee assignments, some of the processes we had in place, we will be addressing and reinstituting depending on how COVID how prevalent it is. I'm going to move the agenda along to district needs and budget. Our new chair is Stephanie Arroyo, and she had her first meeting. So Stephanie, please.
Hi, so unfortunately, I don't have anything in writing, and this is for informational purposes only. Our meeting was pretty much to talk about our budget needs and budget needs and services survey that we put out every year out to the community. We are hoping to have a meeting. We are the only committee that meets during the summer, and we're hoping to meet so we can gather up the information we need and set up our survey to set it out. And we're hoping that you guys as board members will help us get that information out to the public so we can have a full response when we're putting in our budget needs for fiscal year of 2024. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't see any hands up for questions. Just please make sure to raise your hand. Next we have is our Housing Committee Chair, John Green, and they have an action item. So John, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Xavier. Good evening, everybody. Happy first day of summer. John Green here, Chair of Housing. The minutes for the June meeting are for informational purposes only, but we, as Xavier said, we do have an action item. Former Housing Chair Jeremiah Schwartzman came before the committee and requested that a letter of support for a resolution by CB9 that would request the Department of Housing Preservation and Development to halt the transfer of tenant interim lease buildings and maintain such a moratorium. The motion was passed for the letter of support, and so we'll be voting for that in a few moments. And that's really the gist of the June meeting. And everybody have a great summer.
Okay, thank you. Jessica Morris, you had a question?
I did, yeah, I had a slow hand for Stephanie. Sorry, John, I don't have a question for you, but.
Okay, can we, well, I will circle back to Stephanie in just a moment. If you don't mind me getting through this action item, then we'll return to the floor to Stephanie. If you can hold on for just a second, Jess. Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, John. We have a motion to grant a letter of support for Community Board 9's resolution regarding a request for NYC Department of Housing Preservation and Development to halt the transfer of tenant interim lease buildings and maintain such a moratorium. The motion passed unanimously. Are there any questions? Not seeing any. Yes, Michelle.
I do not have a question. I would just like to motion on the recommendation of the committee.
Okay. Okay. And Jessica, did you have a question? Were you going to motion to support the committee's recommendation?
I do. I have a fresh hand here with a question.
Hold that real quick, Michelle, and then I'll come back to you. Jessica, yes, your fresh question.
We're approaching summer, which is a recess for the board. I'm wondering if there's time sensitivity here. There are a lot of technical aspects to what's being asked of the board to support here. And I feel like I don't know enough. So I wouldn't be comfortable supporting this, not because it may, be a good thing, but just because I don't know enough at this point. Is there, John, a time sensitivity to this letter of support?
Not really, but the thing is that this is something that that has been getting, from what I understand, momentum from electeds, because the thing is that the TIL program was discontinued several years ago, but a lot of people feel that it should be should be reinstated and should be refunded, and because it's a better idea. And the thing is that I understand what you're saying, Jessica. It's if you don't know a lot about it, I understand why that you don't feel comfortable voting yay or nay. I understand.
Okay. Thank you. Real quick before I go to Beverly, my understanding is that there was active committee hearings going on at the city council, and in my understanding there was an active court case as well. So I would say that both items would register as being time sensitive in that instance, from my understanding. Now I'll go to Beverly. Beverly, your question? Or
Yes, thank you, Chair. And to answer also her question, in 2017, Community Board 11 also had a resolution supporting the TIL program, and it was unanimously voted on 2017. So this issue regarding the TIL program and the funding for it has been an ongoing process for quite a long time. So homeowner program that's been in existence since 1978, and just recently since the crash of the housing market, the city had held back on these buildings that was still waiting for the total rehabilitation of their housing. These tenants have waited for over 25 years, and I must let you know that my building is also one of the buildings in the TIL program. So we've been waiting for a very long time for this process of home ownership to be granted to us, with all the work and years that we've been waiting and doing. So yeah, I would say it would be time sensitive. So we.
oh, did we lose you, Beverly? Hello.
For so many years. So in regards to the program being closed, I know HPD has made a presentation that the program has stopped in 2006, which is not true. It's still a program on the books. They have workers there and staff there that's still working with the TIL program. We are still doing financial reports and everything and still working. So it really has not been closed. And like I said, it's on the city rules and regulation. The TIL program itself it hasn't been totally stopped or stopped. It just has been refunded, haven't been funded as much as the ANCP program, and now they're giving even money to the community land trust programs and not filling their obligation to the TIL tenants who've been working for more than 20 years. So I myself will be saying yes to support this letter. We don't have too many buildings in our district. We only have 2 that's left. But these tenants, we've been working for over 25 years, just about some of these buildings. for home ownership program, and to just be pushed to the side and pushed into a program that wasn't what we worked for. It's not fair, and I support this motion to grant a letter of support when it come up.
Okay, great. Thank you for that history there. Yes, and we have historically supported the Tills in the past. But
Thank you, Beverly.
thank you. And Judith, you had a question, and then Jessica.
Yes, mine isn't about the till, but we
Okay.
put in the resolution for the abatement, which we now
Yeah,
know.
that's not before Judith, that's not before us right now. And it's a question that has to be germane to this item before the body.
Never before housing. That seems to be a problem. We were
No,
pushed
no,
aside
Judith,
and
Judith,
forgotten about.
you're out of order. I'm going to ask you to please, unless you have a question about item number 24, motion to grant a letter of support for Community Board 9's resolution.
Fine.
Okay. Thank you. Jessica, you had a question.
Yeah, I just have a quick question. I just noticed in the materials that we're citing their Community Board 9's resolution, but the document only has the first page of that resolution. It looks like it continues, and there's no ability to read the rest of the resolution. So I don't know if we might table this or be able to recover that information before we vote.
So you're saying it's not accessible in the Google Drive?
Not for me. It looks like it's a 2-page document, and the first page is the letter from CB9 stating what the letter is intending to say, and then it goes on to the resolution itself, which begins with 4 whereases, and then there's not the remainder of that resolution that I can see.
Okay, Angel, would someone mind checking that? Because I'm checking the Google Drive right now, and it is apparently only the first page there.
Yeah, give me 30 seconds and I'll get it in there.
Okay, get it in, and I'll have to have it tossed up on the screen. Excuse the delay for the technical difficulties. Thank you very much, Jessica. Yes, Jessica Morris.
So just to clarify, former board member and Housing Committee Chair Jeremiah Slotman came to the committee referencing this May 23rd, 2017 resolution by CB9 and thought that it was a necessary and timely moment to ask for CB11's letter of support referencing this resolution from 5 years ago. Is that correct?
He works for Palante now, so he represents a lot of the housing interests dealing with TILs and HDFCs, affordable housing.
But the context that I just referred to is correct.
He thought it was a timely fashion because there were testimony going before the council at the time. So yes, I mean, I'm pretty sure he would have liked to have come sooner, but that's the earliest he could get scheduled. Okay. And for those that are unaware, historically 9, 10, 11, and 12 have typically been supportive, having faced a lot of the same travails and challenges when it comes to affordable housing and public housing. So we now have the resolution up before us that the committee got to review in its entirety. So you can now, I'll give you all a few moments to read. Okay, next page, please.
I didn't quite finish reading the whereas above. There we go. Thank you.
You guys ready for me to scroll down a little more?
Yes, please.
Okay, cool.
Okay, Jessica, you have your hand raised?
Motion to approve the committee's recommendations.
Okay. Is there a second? Michelle, what's your comment?
I absolutely second it.
Please call the roll, Giselle.
Okay. Jose Altamirano,
Yes.
Leroy Andino, Stephanie Arroyo,
Aye.
Eric Alcancela, April Autry,
Yes.
Adem Brija, Juhai Charity, Diane Collier,
Yes.
Devin Crenshaw,
Yes.
Kenneth Crouch,
Yes.
Brianna Da Costa,
Yes.
Carlos Diaz. Oh, thank you. Carlos Diaz, Rosa Diaz,
Yes.
Angela Donadell,
Yes.
Jessica Elliott,
Yes.
Judith Fabaro,
Oppose,
Raja Flores, Cindy Garcia, Brandon Gillespie,
Yes.
David Giordano.
Yes.
Thank you. David Giordano,
Yes. Sorry.
John Green,
Aye.
Wanda Hopkins,
yes.
James Horton, Alonso Johnson,
Yes.
Jewel Jones,
Yes.
Marissa Mack, my vote is a yes. Malik McCullough, Jennifer Meyer, Jessica Morris,
Yes.
Nelson Rama,
Yes.
Beverly Pavon.
Before I say my answer, since my building is also a Till building, am I have the right to vote yes or no, or should I have to sustain?
You should be present, not voting, Beverly.
Thank you. Present, not voting.
Okay, thank you. Claudia Perez. Arturo Perez.
Yes.
Roberto Perez. Sebastian Robinson Teague. Natasha Rodriguez.
Yes.
Eugene Rodriguez.
Aye.
Don Sanders.
Yes.
Xavier Santiago.
Yes.
Thank you. Isaac Scott.
Yes.
Russell Schuler.
Yes.
Vincent Torres. Anne Marie Vasquez.
Yes.
Hilda Vives Vasquez. Michelle Butcher Clement.
Yes.
Jordan Wright.
Yes.
Jason Wu. Okay, Angel, my vote is a yes.
Marissa's on now. You can call her again.
Marissa Mack. I believe motion passes if that was.
Yep. Yes.
That was Marissa's. Okay.
Wonderful. I'd like to move the meeting along. However, there was one issue raised about another agenda item that was presented at executive that was passed from housing. It was a resolution, but it was not fleshed out enough and with enough information that we would need and feel comfortable to bring before the full body. So it was recommended to take that back to housing where it can be more research can be provided. And more of a carve out for affordability and preservation of affordable housing for those that were aging out of the of various programs. So to answer Judith's question that she had raised as a concern, and when executive met, we didn't feel comfortable at that time that there was enough data there to actually dive deep in to be able to support a resolution. It was too general in both its ask and as the whereas clauses. It was a good outline and general outline for the process we need to take, but the committee recommended to lay that on the table indefinitely, so it goes back to committee. So again, over the summer, there'll be more time to actually adopt a better crafted resolution so we can stake a position on affordability for our community and especially our retirees, our pensioners, seniors. So I just wanted to comment on that. So it's not that there wasn't action taken, it's that the action needed to be more robust. Next will be public safety and transportation, Jose Altamirano.
Good evening, everyone. This month is for informational purposes only. Thank you.
Thank you, Jose. Land use, landmarks, and planning. Jason Villanueva is excused tonight. Angel, would you like to speak on the committee's action item? Angel?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I was waiting to show my ugly mug. So the land use committee reviewed an application for a barrier access project. Essentially, it's the installation of a ramp, an ADA accessible ramp for a new school that's opening at 50 East 130th Street. It's the Capital Preparatory Harlem Charter School. Because the property is a landmark, the plans have to be approved by the Landmark Preservation Commission. We also received an application for this project for a what is that called? I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, I'll remind myself in a minute. But this application is for an LPC application for an accessibility ramp into a new school building at 130th Street. And the motion was raised and passed unanimously by the committee.
Got a question?
Oh, now I remembered. A revocable consent, because it's taking up space on the side. There it is.
And this is to add for an ADA compliant ramp?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. Jessica, you had a question?
No, just a motion to accept the committee's recommendations.
Okay, Pastor Isaac Scott, are you seconding?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Giselle, please call the roll.
Jose Altamirano,
Yes.
Leroy Andino, Stephanie Arroyo,
Yes.
Eric Alcancela, April Autry,
Yes.
Adem Briha, Juhai Charity, Diane Collier,
Yes.
Devin Cronshaw,
Yes.
Kenneth Crouch,
Yes.
Brianna Da Costa,
Yes.
Carlos Diaz, Rosa Diaz,
Yes.
Angela Donadell,
Yes.
Jessica Elliott,
Yes.
Judith Febraro,
Yes.
Raja Flores, Osendi Garcia, Brandon Gillespie,
Yes.
David Giordano,
Yes.
John Green,
Aye.
Wanda Hopkins,
Yes.
James Horton, Alonso Johnson,
Yes.
Jewel Jones,
Yes.
Marissa Mack.
Yes.
My vote is a yes. Malik McCullough, Jennifer Meyer,
Yes.
Jessica Morris,
Yes.
Nilsa Orama,
Yes.
Beverly Pavon,
Yes.
Arturo Perez,
Yes.
Claudia Perez, Roberto Perez, Sebastian Robinson Teague, Natasha Rodriguez,
Yes.
Eugene Rodriguez,
Aye.
Dawn Sanders,
Yes.
Xavier Santiago,
Yes.
Isaac Scott,
Yes.
Russell Schuler,
Yes.
Vincent Torres, Anne Marie Vasquez,
Yes.
Kayla Vives Vasquez, Michelle Wilcher Clement,
Yes.
Jordan Wright,
Yes.
Jason Wu. Motion passes.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Angel, for presenting on behalf of Jason Villanueva. Our next committee is Environment, Open Space and Parks, and Jessica Elliott. You go ahead and present on 26, 27, 28, and then ideally I'd like to combine those into one motion.
Great. Thank you, Chair. Good evening, everyone. So we had a packed meeting. The first item is for a letter of no objection for New York City Parks. So this is for a project at Randall's Island near the Wards Island Bridge. The land is leased by the New York State Office of Mental Health, and there's a FDNY emergency training vehicle course at the site. So currently there's no infrastructure for bikes, and the project is proposing a shared and protected bike lane in partnership with the Department of Transportation. The path will meet up with the Harlem River Pathway by opening up 2 locked gates that are currently not accessible to the public, but will become public. So they were early on in their design process. They're in schematic design. So we had a motion for a letter of no objection for the current design of the project, with the condition that Parks return to the committee for an update on the design before that design is finalized, as well as a follow-up regarding resiliency details to be implemented in the project. The motion was made by Diane Collier and seconded by Michelle Wilcher Clement and was passed unanimously. The second item is a motion for a letter of support for the renovation of the North Meadows Center. So Central Park Conservancy presented the project, which is just north of the 97th Street transversal and just south of the North Meadows. The center was originally built as an operations facility in 1910. The purpose of their project is to renovate the public facilities and park operation spaces, as well as to work to screen the park operations and support areas from the public. So the project will have new pickleball courts, repainted handball courts with refurbished walls, repaved basketball courts, as well as an optimized reorganization of their program. So currently their bathrooms are a little bit difficult to find, and this would centrally locate them in the building so that they're easier to find. And the project will also include some landscape work to shield the back of house spaces. So there's a motion to support by Michelle Wiltshire Clement and seconded by Malik McCullough, and the motion was passed unanimously. And the last and final item for our committee was we had an update on the M11 garage project from the Department of Sanitation. They didn't really have a lot to tell us. So the committee discussed that the New York City Department of Sanitation is not operating in good faith. So the community board has not had clear direction through the community action group, which Angela and I both sit on. And there's been no answer after 5 years as to how we move forward with the 2017 points of agreement items, considering that we agreed upon a new consolidated facility that would be built to house the M10 and M11 garages. The Department of Sanitation is currently constructing a temporary facility that does not meet the agreement that could very well be in our district for the next couple decades, if not longer. Both garages, M10 and M11, are currently located in our district, both in poor facilities with parking on the street, which is problematic. The lot cleaning unit, which is also housed in CD11, including the vehicles, or the personal vehicles of the staff. Department of Sanitation equipment exists in locations identified for affordable housing, as well as for planned work with the MTA viaduct project that needs planning for its relocation as that work begins. So on 99th Street, also DSNY is keeping equipment on the streets which was not originally agreed upon. So currently there are 4 sites for the Department of Sanitation in CD11. And we think as a committee that that's unacceptable when other districts have none. And our motion is to support the resolution which we made. And the motion was made by Diane Collier and seconded by Jordan Wright. And the resolution asks that DSNY respond to the community board's concerns and communicate the planned activities and timelines at all of its sites in CD11 in order to fulfill the commitments of the 2017 East Harlem Points of Agreement. Thanks.
Great. Thank you so much, Jessica. Are there any questions on the 3 action items? Beverly, you have your hand raised.
I'll make a motion to accept all recommendations.
Okay. Michelle Wiltshire Clement, you're recognized. You have a question?
I do not have a question. I would like to second all 3 as is.
Okay, very well. We have a motion and a second to support the committee's motion for a letter of no objection to the schematic design for the project, with the condition that the Parks return the committee to an update on the design before the finalization of design, as read in by our chair, Jessica Elliott, of the committee. And a second is a motion to support the renovation of North Meadows Center and Central Park. And then to adopt a resolution that asks DSNY respond to the community board's concerns and communicate the planned activities and timelines at all of its sites in Community District 11. It's seconded. Please call the roll.
Jose Altamirano,
Yes.
Leroy Antino, Stephanie Arroyo,
Aye.
Eric Alcancela, April Autry,
Yes.
Adem Brija, Juhaid Chardy, Diane Collier,
Yes.
Devin Cronshaw,
Yes.
Kenneth Crouch,
Yes.
Brianna Da Costa, Carlos Diaz,
Yes. Oh, sorry.
No worries. Carlos Diaz. Rosa Diaz.
Yes.
Angela Donadell.
Yes.
Jessica Elliott.
Yes.
Judith Ferraro. Roger Flores. Lucenti Garcia. Brandon Gillespie.
Yes.
David Giordano.
Yes.
John Green.
Aye.
Wanda Hopkins.
Yes.
James Horton. James Horton. Alonso Johnson.
Yes. Thank you, Jessica.
Jewel Jones.
Yes.
Marissa Mack.
Yes.
My vote is a yes. Malik McCullough. Jennifer Meyer.
Yes.
Jessica Morris.
Yep.
Nelson Rama.
Yes.
Beverly Pavon.
Yes.
Arturo Perez.
Yes.
Claudia Perez. Roberto Perez. Sebastian Robinson Teague. Natasha Rodriguez.
Yes.
Eugene Rodriguez.
Aye.
Don Sanders.
I'm abstain on the first one and yes on the second and third.
Okay.
Or if I can't, then abstain to all. If I can, then abstain, yes, yes.
You may, Dawn.
Thanks.
Xavier Santiago.
Yes.
Isaac Scott.
Yes.
Russell Schuler.
Yes.
Anne Marie Vasquez.
Yes.
Hilda Vives Vasquez. Michelle Wilcher Clement. Jordan Wright.
Yes.
Jason Wu.
I am a yes. I just couldn't unmute for a second. This is Michelle.
Okay, thank you, Michelle.
I got you, Michelle. And Wanda, we got you too. You were a yes.
Okay, motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Jessica. Moving along, it is approximately 8:30. We have next up Economic Development and Culture. Marissa Mack is not with us today.
Oh,
Oh, no,
she's
sorry.
here.
We have,
She's here.
oh,
Yep.
sorry. So Human Services, sorry, I skipped ahead. In Human Services, Isaac Scott, and then Youth and Education, then EcoDev. My apologies.
Good evening, everyone. Peace and blessings. I pray that everything is going well with you this evening. These updates are just for informational purposes only. This month, we had our regular updates, COVID updates from the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene. Just want to remind committee members, continue masking indoors and on mass transit, Uber and Lyft. They did report that, COVID numbers are trending in the right way, but wearing a mask is still recommended in case people are wondering, because I know that we see a lot of folks who are not masked. The recommendation is still to wear masks. Another update, the Pfizer booster has been approved for children ages 5 to 12 who are 5 months since their second shot. And the FDA is still considering approving vaccination for children 6 months to 5 years. So that was what a COVID updates. I like to reiterate those because it's important. We don't, we need to stay as informed and as safe as possible as it relates to the pandemic. We also had an informational presentation from Housing Works Healthcare on their Connect program. I do want to encourage everyone to go on back and watch the meeting recording to give your individual, fill out the survey and give your feedback on the what you believe is a good, new, bad approach to mental health treatment and support. So they are soliciting feedback from the community, and I always encourage the community to give feedback where it's solicited, because community feedback is very important. Very, very important. And lastly, we finished our organizational assessment tool. This is something that I mentioned last month that we wanted to put together an assessment tool, a questionnaire that would allow us to get a better understanding of the social service providers, traditional and innovative, in East Harlem, so we can know who's doing that, substance abuse work, mental health treatment work, anti-violence work, all of these different organizations that may be providing social services that may offset a lot of the issues that we are seeing and experiencing. So that's completed. We voted on it. It was approved by our committee, and we're going to work over the summer to identify organizations and solicit their them filling out the survey, and also coming before the Human Services Committee to talk to us about the work that they're doing. So that's the work that's being done. Yeah, that's it. And my updates there. I look forward to seeing folks at the Human Services Committee meeting in September. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And we'll look forward to that reconvening in September. Are there any questions? Okay. See that there are none. I'm going to keep us plodding along. I think our borough president is incoming, and he is here now. So before we jump into youth and education, we're just going to refer to our borough president, Mark Levine.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Chair, and it's wonderful to see all of you here at Community Board 11. I first want to thank you, Mr. Chair, and so many board members who came out to march with us at the Puerto Rican Day Parade last week. We had a great showing. It felt good to have so many neighbors from East Harlem there with us. I got to see many of you on Saturday last weekend when we did the pre-116th Street Festival celebration at CUNY School of Social Work, so at Hunter School of Social Work. So it's been wonderful to be with all of you in those happy occasions. I'm sorry to say a few words now about a much less happy topic, which I'm sure has been coming up a lot tonight, which was the horrific mass shooting in the early hours of yesterday morning at 116th Street and Fifth Avenue. You all know that we lost one of our own, a remarkable young man, 21-year-old Darius Lee, in college on a basketball scholarship in Houston, set to graduate in December, and 8 more who were shot, several of which are still hospitalized. I've been in touch with some of the young people there. I've been in touch with some of the family members, including the mother and the aunt of the young man who was tragically lost. And we're doing everything we can to support them, to ensure that they have the financial resources they need to get through this difficult time. But it is just heartbreaking. There's no way to sugarcoat it. We're also looking at the location that some of you may know well, sort of under the underpass there, just off of 139th and Fifth Avenue. It's been a neglected area, as I think you know, with something of a jurisdictional turf war, I guess you could say, between the Parks Department and the State Department of Transportation. We want to cut through that. We want to upgrade that area. We want to look whether we need more lighting there. We want to look whether we need more cameras there. Unfortunately, this investigation has been hindered by the lack of camera footage, and we are increasingly putting cameras into parks where there's safety considerations, and just generally upgrade that area. I would really welcome the input from Community Board 11 on the kind of physical investments that you believe we need in that location. I know that you have great familiarity with it, so please let us know. My office will work with all of you on that front. But there's just no doubt that we have to do much, much more to attack this epidemic of gun violence. We've been saying it again and again after each of these horrible killings. We have to do more for young people to get them youth development programs and after school programs and job training and summer jobs and more. We have to do more to stop the flow of guns into the city and to get the guns that are out there off the street. We have to do more to invest in cure violence programs, which can short circuit violence before it escalates. We have much more work to do. I know that you as a board are deeply committed to that, and I am as well. We're together in this in the long fight ahead. On a more positive topic, we are passing a big milestone in our battle against COVID-19. The final age cohort is becoming eligible now. And actually, tomorrow morning, the city will be opening 10 dedicated vaccine hubs for the 6 months to 5-year-old age cohort. And there is one hub right in East Harlem that I'm going to give you the address. It's in the Department of Health facility on East 115th Street, 158 East 115th Street. It's going to be opening tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for walk-ins and appointments as well. It's going to be open every day of the week from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. exclusively for young children age 6 months up to and including 5 years old. They're going to be offering the Moderna vaccine, which is a 2-shot regimen for young people, 4 weeks apart. And happening just in a few minutes at 9 p.m., scheduling is going to go live for all of the vaccine hubs for our littlest New Yorkers citywide, including the East Harlem location. At 9 p.m., you can either log into vax4nyc.nyc.gov and make an appointment online, or you can call the hotline 877-VAX4NYC. But as I mentioned, walk-ins are also accepted, so you don't need to make an appointment. But for people who want that, scheduling is going live in just a few minutes at 9 p.m. And I would love it if you could help spread the word as you are people with great respect and trust in the neighborhood. Very quickly, June 30th is the deadline for reapplications to SCREE and DREE, senior citizen rent increase exemption and disability rent increase exemption. If you are having challenges or you know someone who needs help with the application process, please don't wait. We don't want you or they to miss the deadline. Our office is here to help. We have a whole team at our Northern Manhattan office on 125th Street ready to help. My wonderful liaison for here in CB11, Porfirio, is on the Zoom right now, I think. And I'll ask him to put the contact info in for our Northern Manhattan office team. If anyone that you know needs help applying for SCREE and DREE. So I think I'm going to pause there because the hour is late. I know you have a big agenda. If there's time, Mr. Chair, for questions, happy to take some. If your schedule doesn't allow, I also understand that as well. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, Barbara. And I think we could entertain a question or so if there are any. If they're not, we appreciate you being here in this space and continuing to advocate for virtual and preserving our safety. So, okay, not seeing any hands raised. Again, thank you. Thank you for all you do for us. And we will definitely get you feedback as
Thanks
well.
so much, Mr. Chair, and everyone have a wonderful night.
All right, you too. Okay, moving things along. David, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight. Actually, we had our shortest meeting of the year as we didn't have any presentations, but we did have 2 resolutions that we wanted to address. Before that, I just want to really just say, I participated and attended 3 wonderful events for youth this past June. In just the last 2 weeks, we had our first work that we've done as Children's Aid as Boys and Girls Club. in working with Ashley Biding around equity and kids from other Boys and Girls Club, as well as kids from PS 72 at Lexington Academy, Keystone Club, really worked on issues around equity. There were 5 major areas that they discussed. They worked with Ashley Biding on each doing a presentation. One was around voting, equity and voting. One was around equity in food and how stores are distributed in different communities. Another was on the youth violence. Again, what we continue to talk about, I think at last meeting, we also kind of took a moment to talk about the youth on youth violence in our communities. What were the other areas? Food, LGBT, and again, just on equity and how kids are shaping. And what we did is we worked on projects around youth that had been either victims of violence. We did portraits of them. Kids did 6-word memoirs to talk about how equity and race affects them in their life. Another event we had at PS 72 in conjunction with the East Harlem Consortium and the Mayor's Initiative, TREE, which is the Task Force for Racial Inclusion and Equity, where we worked with a group of 8th graders over the last 4 months. Tiffany McFadden from SCAN really worked hard to bring together a group of 8th graders and then present to the community. And it was really a wonderful, moving experience. One of the issues that they really talked about is how parents need to be more involved in kids. And one of the young ladies that was talking about parents and wanting their parents to be more involved and use examples of her own, her mother was in the audience. And it was a very touching and moving moment where parents really got together and I mean, the community got together to really listen to youth. And youth, you know, when you give them a forum and give them an opportunity to express themselves, it's amazing what they do. And then we had the Festival of Healing this past week. And again, just seeing the community spirit and people coming together, it is so important at this time that we find ways to find productive things for kids to be involved in, to address these issues that concern them most of all. So, you know, that again is just some of the work that we do. I see Natasha Ash has her hand raised. And is there something that you want to add? Because you participated in both of the events with Ashley Biden and also the one on the work that we do so well.
So you're done presenting on the 2 items, correct, David?
No, the 2 items are the resolutions.
No.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you, Natasha had her hand raised. Natasha?
Oh, no, I just wanted to add for the event with Ashley Biden, there was one more topic that was discussed, and it was racism in academia. So, yeah, I wasn't sure if David mentioned it, but yeah.
No, I missed that one, but that's why you always keep me right, Ash. I've been working with Ash since Ash was 9 years old. Ash is graduating from high school this year. Ash has got a full scholarship to Montclair University. Very proud to talk about our youth from East Harlem. Ash is also very active in community gardens as well. And again, this is part of the goal of the Youth in Education, is to get more youth voices at the table, to be involved and to really speak about the issues affecting them. So thank you, Ash. So as we continue, we did have 2 resolutions. One resolution, MetroCard, was similar to the one that we took several years ago, but it expanded to include Saturdays for free transportation for kids, as well as extending the time. Many of our children do work in jobs after school, attend programs after school. Many kids do not live in their communities, so there's different traveling. If I'm in a band, I have to go to the rehearsals. I may have to go rehearse at another place. So we're looking to extend the MetroCard and support the resolution from CEC, extend the times and extend the usage from 3 users a day to 4 users a day. So again, this is very similar to what we passed maybe about 3-4 years ago as part of this committee and part of the board. The other resolution is related to fair wage increases for occupational and physical therapists. Many people don't know that these are our unsung heroes in the school that really help support kids, help keep them on track, and help get them the services that they may need so that they can do the best that they can do as in a public education. So for them, they do not get the increases that normally teachers get as part of the school staff. So we are looking to help promote and pass the resolution and support the resolution that was again passed by CEC to increase the wages for physical and occupational therapists. Chair, I defer to you. Motion for Metro cards was made by Jason Wu, and motion for the occupational therapist was made by John Green. Pass
Okay.
unanimous.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, David. I'd like to combine both of these action items into one to support the committee's recommendation from Community Education Council District 4 resolution on student transportation. The committee recommends supporting this resolution, and number 30, Community Education Council District 4 resolution to support fair salary increases for NYC Department of Education occupational physical therapists. The committee recommends supporting this resolution. I will now, Jewel Jones.
I make a motion to support the committee's recommendations.
Okay, is there a second? Jessica Elliott,
Second, sorry.
please call the roll.
Jose Altamirano,
Yes.
Stephanie Arroyo,
Yes.
April Autry,
Yes.
Diane Collier,
Yes.
Devin Crenshaw,
Yes.
Kenneth Crouch,
Yes.
Brianna DaCosta,
Yes.
Rosa Diaz.
Hi, I have a question. I'm sorry. I am the president of the Community Education Council in District 4. Do I vote or,
You should be present. Not voting.
Not voting, yeah.
okay, present, not voting. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosa. Angela Donadell,
Yes.
Jessica Elliott,
Yes.
Judith Fabraro,
Yes.
Brandon Gillespie,
Yes.
David Giordano.
President not voting. I'm also a CEC member.
Thank you, David. Wanda Hopkins,
Yes.
John Green,
Aye.
Alonzo Johnson,
Yes.
Joel Jones,
Yes.
Marissa Mack,
Yes.
Giselle Malave, Jennifer Meyer,
Yes.
Jessica Morris,
Yes.
Nilsa Arama,
Yes.
Beverly Pavone,
Yes.
Arturo Perez,
Yes.
Natasha Rodriguez,
Yes.
Eugene Rodriguez,
Aye.
Dawn Sanders,
Yes.
Xavier Santiago,
Yes.
Isaac Scott,
Yes.
Russell Schuler,
Yes.
Anne Marie Vasquez. Michelle Wiltshire Clement,
Yes.
and Jordan Wright.
Yes.
The motion carries.
Okay, very good. Thank you, David. Appreciate that and look forward to continuing our work together. Marissa Mack, Economic Development and Culture, please.
Yes, hi, good afternoon. Sorry, good evening. I am just wanting to update everyone on our meeting. No resolutions. Everything is for informational purposes, but I did want to mention 2 items that we discussed. One being BitCon Harlem, which is an organization that is looking to increase awareness about Bitcoin and how that relates to our community. And then also, what is it for people that don't know? So I think it's just more of an informational organization and platform for people to connect with and to get more information from. We also had a presentation from Eugene Rodriguez, who is also now a member of CB11, on the topic of making East Harlem designating East Harlem as a cultural district. And so as a committee, we decided to continue this conversation in September, get some more information. This is something that our chair, Xavier, has also mentioned, and is something that both Eddie Gibbs and Senator Serrano is also backing. So it would be great to hear from these two members as well. As to the exact idea around this, why is it important? Will it bring specific funding to the community, and any additional benefits that would be out there for CB11? Those were the two topics that we discussed most at our meeting. I did want to mention that Chipotle was also a hot topic, but unfortunately they decided not to present in our meeting. They were encouraged to schedule a date to meet with us, and that they should not wait too long to do this, obviously because we need to address some of the matters here, see what their thinking was in regards to having the Chipotle at that specific location, if any vetting was done, what their ideas were around again, the specific location. So we are still awaiting that information, but again, there was no presentation from Chipotle. And then also wanted to mention that Uptown Grand Central is passing around or letting people know about Cleanup Corps and the need to continue that work on 125th Street, which essentially helps them in their mission of keeping 125th Street clean, ensuring that that area is activated, and is a nice corridor within our community. So there is a link that is being passed around. Happy to share that with anyone that needs it. But they are asking for testimonies for people to share, what 125th Street being clean, specifically the areas that Cleanup Corps has cleaned, which is, I believe, primarily from Park Avenue on. And if anyone is on, Carrie or Diane, please, please share any additional information, but there is a link where people can write their specific testimonies, so that this initiative can continue on 125th Street. We desperately need this. Uptown Grand Central has been doing a great job in terms of activating and working alongside of them. So we would love for this to continue. So if you would like more information, please feel free to reach out to either me, obviously, or Uptown Grand Central, or Angel, and we can provide you with the link to their initiative to get additional information. And again, I know that we'll be working with Xavier. Unfortunately, I was able to join earlier, but not sure if the task force was mentioned. So I know that that's something that is moving forward, and then looking forward to that work throughout the summer as we work through what that looks like for 125th Street. Also just wanted to mention that Angel and I met with EDC and MTA along with Urban Green in regards to what movement under the Park Avenue Viaduct will look like for them, as well as for other businesses under the viaduct, as we know that that project is going to require some movement. And so we had a very productive conversation. There were some action items on both ends for EDC MTA as well as Urban Garden to ensure that the plan that will be moving forward is something that will be helpful for everyone on all sides. So just wanted to make mention of that there is communication between all parties, and we are asking the questions, to kind of understand what next steps are and what a timeline is. But again, there are still some unknown areas where we can't necessarily directly plan for. But again, keeping the lines of communication open, I think are our first kind of stops here for that project. So that's all that I have. And if there are any questions, please feel free to ask now, or you can email me at a later time.
Right.
Any
Looking for any
questions?
hands? Please raise your hand if you have a question. Okay. Seeing there none, thank you very much, Marissa. Appreciate that.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And it's about 9 o'clock. Gonna keep us moving. Thank you for your patience. We're getting through the work. So we had a very jam-packed executive committee meeting, and the first up was a motion to remove Eric Alcancella from membership on CB11 due to excessive absences from meetings of the full board. Motion was passed unanimously, and I can bring is Giselle still on? I'm looking here through the feed. To Giselle, Jose Altamirano, and Jessica Elliott were charged, as our bylaws dictate, to assign a committee of no less than 3, but no more than 7 to review when there are attendance issues. The member in question has not attended basically meetings for a year. The action began back in January and February in the process of reaching out and contacting the member, and it was non-responsive. Giselle, would you like to comment further on this? Okay. Angel, do you know if Giselle is away at the moment, or?
She just had to sit with for a second.
Okay. Jessica Elliott, would you like to speak to the process a little bit since you sat on that committee?
Yes, it would be helpful to have the presentation for the specifics, but overarchingly, we identified how many meetings could be missed for the board member process to begin, and Eric Alcancella had exceeded the amount for removal. There was multiple attempts at contacting this board member to see why they might not be attending, and just to check in, and none of those outreaches were responded to. So I think this is per our bylaws, a pretty straightforward action from our recommendation.
Okay, thank you very much, Jessica. And again, we sit on 2 committees and a 10 full board, and we have 10 meetings out of the year. Not all committees meet every month, some do. I'd say the majority do. And there was basically has not been attending since that point in time of assignment. If there are any questions, we're going to carve this one out separately for the body to take an official position, but the executive committee did pass unanimously to proceed with removing said member. Okay. I don't see any hands raised. Is there a motion? Beverly Pavon?
Yes.
You have a question?
Yes, the question is that when you remove someone, what happened to that spot? Is it taken over by someone else, or just what will be the process when you remove someone? Aren't we supposed to have a certain amount of people, and how do you fill it later, or just some information on that? Thank you.
Once the body takes an official position and it goes through the process delineated in our bylaws, that recommendation goes from us to both the council member who may have appointed and the borough president. If they elect to take action on it, which they can and do take seriously, because we've had issues with maintaining quorum of our committees, then it is up to them to assign someone. And since we just had new members join, they could elect for someone who was not assigned to give them an opportunity to serve. So it's typically the process. But again, most of the time when we've gotten to this stage of excessive absences, the person or member in question is typically tendered their resignation. So that's how the process typically plays out.
So we will still have a full body of members of 50.
Eventually, yes, a new member would come on. Just like when, for example, if we had people resign, the borough president can elect to assign a new member. And sometimes if that's a member that's a portion from the council member, they may consult with them in that process. But the borough president would then be apprised of the situation, and they may elect to assign someone new, or they may elect, if it's close to the application process, hold it open for a month or 2. We've seen different variations in the past.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So this was the committee's recommendation. Is there a motion to support the committee's recommendation for removal of Eric Alcancel? Jessica Morris, you have your hand raised.
I do. I'd like to make a motion to support the committee's recommendation.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I second.
Got
my hand up.
Oh, sorry. I couldn't see it. It was in the little light fixture. I couldn't see it. Thank you, Jewel. All right. Seconded by Jewel to remove. Please call the roll.
Jose Altamirano,
Yes.
Leroy Andino, Stephanie Arroyo,
Yes.
April Autry,
Yes.
Adem Briha, Juhaid Chaudhry, Diane Collier,
Yes.
Devin Cronshaw,
Yes.
Kenneth Crouch,
Yes.
Brianna Da Costa, Carlos Diaz, Rosa Diaz,
Yes.
Angela Donadell,
Yes.
Jessica Elliott,
Yes.
Judith Febraro,
Yes.
Roger Flores, Sandy Garcia, Brandon Gillespie,
Yes.
David Giordano,
Yes.
John Green,
Aye.
Wanda Hopkins,
Yes.
James Horton, Alonzo Johnson,
Yes.
Jewel Jones,
Yes.
Marissa Mack.
Yes.
My vote is a yes. Malik McCullough, Jennifer Meyer,
Yes.
Jessica Morris,
Yes.
Nelsa Rama,
Yes.
Beverly Pavon,
Yes.
Arturo Perez,
Yes.
Claudia Perez, Roberto Perez, Sebastian Robinson Teague, Natasha Rodriguez,
Yes.
Eugene Rodriguez,
Aye.
Dawn Sanders, Xavier Santiago,
Yes.
Isaac Scott,
Yes.
Russell Schuler,
Yes.
Vincent Torres, Anne Marie Vasquez,
Yes.
Hilda Vives Vasquez, Michelle Wilcher Clement,
Yes.
Jordan Wright,
Yes.
Jason Wu. Motion passes.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. And we will proceed according with the next part that's dictated by our bylaws. I'm going to move us along. Several of these items that you're going to see with licenses and permits came to us because the date of notification had happened after licenses and permits have met. Number 32, Hot Jalapeno Restaurant Corp. Corporate change application for wine, beer, and cider license number 1266952. The committee recommends this application be approved. 33, the Corner Lounge 1 LLC doing business, the Corner Lounge. It was a new application for wine and beer cider license for a restaurant located at 32 East 130th Street, corner Madison Avenue. The committee recommended this application be approved. 34, Vitigal NYC LLC doing business as Santiago's Beer Garden. Renewal application for wine and beer and cider license number 1310044. Number 35 is Prime 116 LLC doing business as Boca Prime as a renewal application for full liquor license number 1321047. Committee recommends this application be approved. Number 36, MN Business Group Inc. doing business The Kiosk, renewal application of the full liquor license number 1207522 for a restaurant located at 76-80 East 116th Street. The committee recommends this application be denied. 37, Italian Food Philosophy LLC doing business at Delaria, application to seek an expansion onto municipal property for license number 1342636. And this is so they already had the open restaurants they were participating in, and this is just so they could serve alcohol on that setup. They have to go through this process. So those are the first handful of items. I'm going to go to our block parties. Judith, you had a question on these? Judith, you're muted.
Did you say these people didn't come to the license and permits?
Because the date of notification happened after licenses and permits meeting.
Yes, we know that always happens, and we suggested that if that happens, that they should be denied and come the next month.
Right, and we're not meeting in July, so it came before executive. Because it happened, I think, Angel or Marlene, when did the notice come in? Was it because, would you please clarify?
As you explained, they came in after the meeting for this, with licenses committee meeting for June.
I know, I know, and I thought that we had stated anything that comes after would have to come the next month. And it's not that we've never had meetings in July for license and permits, because we have. All right, I was just curious. Thank you for that information.
You're welcome. Okay, going on to our block parties. A Healthy You, number 38. That's number 650677. Block party, July 30th, set up 11 a.m., breakdown 8 p.m. East 123rd Street, 2nd Avenue and 3rd Avenue. It's a full street closure. Applicant was Swan Streety. Sponsor Chambers Memorial Baptist Church. Committee recommends this application be approved. Number 39, Juneteenth Give Back. Number 652033, street event, July 9th, set up 11 a.m., breakdown 8 p.m. Full street closure. Applicant Anthony Brown. Sponsor and DAZN Making Money LLC. Committee recommends this application be denied. Number 40, SB Day, number 652080. Block party, July 9th, set up 12 p.m., breakdown 9 p.m. East 122nd Street between Lexington Avenue, 3rd Avenue. Street closure, sidewalk and street closure. Applicant Brandy Walker, a sponsor Rain and Shine Inc. Committee recommends this application be approved. 41, Waimanis Helping Hands Inc. Number 653236, Health Fair, August 13th, set up 8 a.m., breakdown 6:30 p.m. Location 3rd Avenue between East 127th Street and East 128th Street. It's a full street closure. Applicant Stacy May, sponsor Waimanis Helping Hands. Committee recommends this application be denied. And then 42 was the DeWitt Clinton Family Day, number 653545, block party, August 27th. Set up 12 p.m., breakdown 8 p.m. East 109th Street between Lex and Park Avenue, full street closure. Applicants DeWitt Clinton Houses, DeWitt Clinton and DeWitt Clinton Houses Tenant Association. Committee recommends this application be approved. And then the last two were 43 Albario's Car Service LLC, application to renew livery base station license number B01065, located at 220 East 116th Street. Committee recommends this application be approved. And number 44, New Easy Way Radio Dispatch Inc., application to renew livery base station license number B00196, also located at 220 East 116th Street. Committee recommends this application be approved. Before we get to the rest of the executive committee, what was discussed, I'd like to entertain a motion, if there are no questions, of course, if there are questions, we will entertain them, to adopt the committee's recommendations. Pastor Isaac Scott, did you have a question?
No question. Motion to support the committee's recommendation.
Okay, I see no. Is there a second? Jessica Elliott?
Second.
Okay, please call the roll, and let it be noted that for 43 and 44, Jose Altamirano will be present, not voting. Giselle?
Jose Altamirano.
Yes, and present not voting for 43, 44.
Thank you. Stephanie Arroyo.
Yes.
Adem Briha. Diane Collier.
Yes.
Devin Cronshaw.
Yes.
Kenneth Crouch,
Yes.
Brianna Da Costa, Carlos Diaz, Rosa Diaz,
Yes.
Angela Donatel,
Yes.
Jessica Elliott,
Yes.
Judith Febraro,
I hate to do this, but I'm gonna abstain.
okay. Sorry, I lost my place. Brandon Gillespie,
Yes.
David Giordano,
Yes. I'm sorry, yes.
John Green,
Aye.
James Horton, Jewel Jones,
Yes.
Marissa Mack.
Yes.
My vote is a yes. Malik McCullough, Jennifer Meyer,
Yes.
Jessica Morris,
Sorry, Giselle, yes.
Nilsa Orama,
Yes to all.
Beverly Pavon,
Yes.
Arturo Perez,
Yes.
Claudia Perez, Roberto Perez, Natasha Rodriguez,
Yes.
Eugene Rodriguez,
Aye.
Xavier Santiago, sorry, Dawn Sanders,
Yes.
Xavier Santiago,
Yes.
Isaac Scott,
Yes.
Russell Schuler,
Yes.
Anne Marie Vasquez, Hilda Vives Vasquez, Michelle Butcher Clement,
Yes.
Jordan Wright,
Yes.
motion passes.
Okay, very good. Thank you, everyone, for your patience. I'll summarize the meeting we had last Thursday.
Xavier,
Yes.
I'm sorry. My name was not called, but my vote is a yes as well.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. To summarize real quick what we discussed at executive committee, we did form our Second Avenue Subway Task Force for phase 2. The members on that will be Jessica Elliott, David Giordano, Nilsa Rama, Giselle Malave, and Jennifer Myers, Stephanie Arroyo, Jose Altamirano, and myself. We will have our initial meeting to begin the process of other entities who will be joining us, as we will need to have a long-term strategy as we go through phase 2. We'll probably be dealing with issues for 10 plus years. So the initial meeting will deal with laying out our plot points and everything we need to hit along the way, benchmarks, et cetera, and the entities we need to work with. We also had an updates on our minutes, which will all be forthcoming. Our chairs are working on that diligently to get deliverables through July. Hybrid meetings, we did come to a understanding of the process that if we do reconvene and we are afforded hybrid meetings because of extenuating circumstances with an EO, or that we would not be able to conduct business, 48 hours notice would need to be given to the committee chairs and whether or not you not be able to attend or will be able to attend. And we all came to the conclusion that would be sufficient time so that other members could be put on notice of whether the meeting would be held or not. We also took I would say a serious debate and discussion on wearing masks. Most of us believe that we should while we're inside, opening the windows, AC, et cetera, and so on, and preserving and protecting one another right now, because we're still seeing COVID at a level that it's impacting us. After consultation with our district manager, it's easier to conduct all our committee meetings in the community board office where we have the equipment such as the OWL and other the large monitor. It just makes it easier for us to maintain the hybrid process. The real challenge will be with our enforcement and requesting people, if they come in, please, wash your hands, make sure you're wearing a mask. are just common courtesy. There was a question about doing temperature checks. However, I'm not sure. I still haven't gotten clarity from BP's legal on that. She's researching it. But the real challenge will be finding space for full board. We were able to do that last year briefly in June. However, finding a place that we can go on a regular basis is something we're looking into over the summer. External board appointments, you can check out our website. Gave a kind of a dive into that, and where the various CABs or community advisory boards or community advisory groups and organizations we either hold a seat or have representation on over the summer. As we look at our committee and selections, we will also assess those open seats and who may be able to serve on those external groups, and also determining which ones are active or will be activated soon. Many of them went on a hiatus due to the pandemic. Let's see, that concludes most of what happened at executive. I appreciate everyone's patience, and again, be safe and during the summer. So we'll move the agenda on to item number 45 with our hiring committee, which we will need to, Angel, if you would like to kick us off, and we'll need to go into executive session.
Sure. So for this, for the conversation on the hiring recommendation, that will need to be done in executive, as Xavier explained. So a motion will need to be passed to enter into the executive session. Once we're in that, what I'll do is I'll move everyone over to a breakout room because the public can't participate in that. Once we get everyone in there, we'll have the conversation. Once the conversation is completed, you all will pass a motion to exit the executive session. Then we'll come back to the regular meeting and you'll take the vote on the hiring recommendation. So right now I'm going to go back in the background and get everybody invited to the breakout session.
Great. In the meantime, I'd like to entertain a motion to enter into executive session. Jessica, I saw your hand up, and then Nilsa. Jessica?
I was going to make a motion, but I'll cede to Nilsa.
That's okay. On behalf of Jessica and I make a motion to enter executive session so that we can discuss the hiring recommendation of for the assistant district manager.
Okay, I'll see to Jessica as a second, if that's okay.
I'll second Nilsa's motion. Thank you.
Okay, please call the roll. Giselle.
Coming. Jose Altamirano,
Yes.
Stephanie Arroyo,
Yes.
April Autry,
Yes.
True High Charity, Diane Collier,
Yes.
Devin Cronshaw,
Yes.
Kenneth Crouch,
Yes.
Brianna Da Costa, Carlos Diaz, Rosa Diaz,
Yes.
Angela Donadell,
Yes.
Jessica Elliott,
Yes.
Judith Fabaro,
Yes.
Roger Flores, Josendi Garcia, Brandon Gillespie,
Yes.
David Giordano,
Yes.
John Green,
Aye.
Wanda Hopkins,
Yes.
James Horton, Alonso Johnson,
Yes.
Jewel Jones,
Yes.
Marissa Mack. I vote yes. Malik McCullough, Jennifer Meyer, Jessica Morris,
Yes.
Nosa Rama,
Yes.
Beverly Pavon,
Yes.
Arturo Perez,
Yes.
Claudia Perez, Sebastian Robinson Teague, Natasha Rodriguez,
Yes.
Eugene Rodriguez,
Aye.
Dawn Sanders,
Yes.
Xavier Santiago,
Yes.
Isaac Scott,
Yes, sorry.
it's okay. Russell Schuler,
Yes.
Vincent Torres, Anne Marie Vasquez, Hilda Vivas Vasquez, Michelle Wilcher Clement,
Yes.
Jordan Wright,
Yes.
Jason Wu. Motion passes.
Please now proceed to join the breakout room. Hi, everyone. Thank you for your patience. We're waiting from everyone to come out of the breakout room from executive session. Thank you for those members of the public still with us. Just give a few moments, and when everyone has come out of the breakout room, we will then be able to carry on with the agenda.
Oh, Xavier left before us. That's what it was.
No, you have to leave executive. You have to
I
leave.
know
the
we were
breakout room.
all on the other one still talking. They'll be here shortly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would like to make a motion to hire.
Well, wait till everyone, give it a moment, and then Pastor, he kind of beat you to the punch on that, but were you wanting to second it?
Yes, I just wanted to second.
Okay, all right. Well, I get offered it for Jose. Everyone's like, we all want a motion. That's a good sign. So let me know, Angel, if we've got everyone back.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. All right, Jose.
I can make a motion to hire Sir Khalid Nixon as our new assistant district manager for Community Board 11.
Okay, Pastor Scott.
I second.
Okay, please call the roll.
Jose Altamirano.
Yes.
Wanted me to do it. All right, go ahead.
Jose Altamirano.
Yeah.
Stephanie Arroyo.
Yeah.
April Autry.
Yes.
Adem Briha. Juhai Charity. Diane Collier.
Yes.
Devin Cronshaw.
Yes.
Kenneth Crouch.
Yes.
Brianna Da Costa. Carlos Diaz. Rosa Diaz.
Yes.
Angela Donadell. Jessica Elliott.
Yes.
Judith Febraro.
Yes.
Roger Flores. Osenti Garcia. Brandon Gillespie.
Yes.
David Giordano.
Yes.
John Green.
Aye.
Wanda Hopkins.
Yes.
James Horton. Alonzo Johnson.
Yes.
Jewel Jones.
Yes.
Marissa Mack. My vote is yes. Malik McCullough. Jennifer Meyer. Jessica Morris.
Yes.
Nosa Orama.
Yes.
Beverly Pavon.
Yes.
Arturo Perez.
Yes.
Claudia Perez. Roberto Perez. Savasia Robinson Teague. Natasha Rodriguez.
Yes.
Eugene Rodriguez.
Aye.
Dawn Sanders. Xavier Santiago.
Yes.
Isaac Scott.
Yes.
Russell Schuler.
Yes.
Vincent Torres. Anne Marie Vasquez.
Yes.
Hilda Vives Vasquez. Michelle Wilcher Clement.
Yes.
Jordan Wright.
Yes.
Jason Wu. Motion passes.
Okay, wonderful. So, Angel, I presume you will reach out to Khalid Nixon tomorrow then, begin that
Yep, I
process.
got it from here. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to move us along. It is nearly 9:50. We will have a new ADM trained up over the summer. Any new business? Not seeing any. No hands raised. Any old business? Okay. Not going to call for another roll call. We don't need to do that. We just did it. Announcement, CB11's next full board meeting is scheduled for September 20th, 2022. Location is to be determined. Please keep your eyes and ears open for any extension of the executive order and emergency orders. One last little bit, early voting has already begun and will continue through the 26th. You can go on the Board of Elections website to find out your voting location. Ours is over at the school at 100 and the primary one is 106 in Madison. And then you'll have to check the website for primary day on June 28th. That is it. If there are no further announcements, I will entertain a motion to adjourn through unanimous consent. Nilsa?
Motion to adjourn by unanimous consent.
Okay. All those in, if there are no objections. John?
I'm here.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Aye.
All those in favor? Aye.
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 Bye.
Any noes? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Danny, we're done.
Good
We
night.
don't have to go home, but you gotta get out of here.
Happy
Safe, everyone.